good afternoon and welcome to another Voice of Todd reaction. We're here for day 2 of Xbox at Gamescom. We have a couple of minutes just left to wait, as you can see there. I've not got the headphones on yet, but I figured we'd talk about what we saw yesterday, what we're going to see today, and honestly, tomorrow is the best day. Like, Friday is I think, going to be incredible. There's quite a lot of big games on Friday. But yeah, yesterday was a bit flat for me, if I'm honest. The absolute gem of yesterday's showcase was Atomfall. If you didn't see, the questions aside, if you didn't see the footage from Atomfall, it looks like Fallout Yorkshire, I saw someone in the comments say, and that's so true. It just, I'm blown away by it. It looks amazing. I can't wait to play it. It's coming out next March. Fingers crossed. Absolutely stole the show for me. Starfield, the more I see, the less I like, if I'm honest. Age of Mythology actually looked pretty fun. I'll give it that. But Diablo Immortal and Diablo 4 doesn't do anything for me. Stalker 2 looks as good as I expected it to look from what we've seen. I am looking forward to trying it. I don't think it's my kind of shooter. I think the survival element is a bit too much for me. But we'll see. Like, a lot of people have told me that the original Stalker games are really good. And I think they've put a lot of passion into this, and I want to see Stalker 2 do well. Even if it's just for the studio after everything they've been through. They deserve it to be a hit, and it looks like it's gonna do that. And it's out very soon. It's out in November, so that should be pretty good. But what have we got today to look forward to? Well, surprise could be Towerborne. Towerborne is starting to look really interesting. It's a weird hybrid of what tower defense and, like, I don't really know. It looks good. I'm interested. I like the art style. It looked like it flowed very well. The gameplay looked interesting enough. So yeah, that's definitely on my list. And I am a bit of a sucker for a 2-point game. 2-Point Hospital was a lot of fun. I played a bit of that. 2-Point Museum is going to be shown off, which could be interesting. I'm going hot and cold on the first Berserker Khazan game. Art style looks incredible, but it's a Dark Souls type. Souls-like, I think it is. I think that's fair. It's not doing anything for me, which is a shame, but the art style looks good, and seeing it is always nice. We also have the casting of Frank Stone, which I believe is the Dead by Daylight narrative thing, if I'm remembering it correctly. Not a Dead by Daylight fan, not really a massive horror fan, but that, I don't know, it looked like that 70s amateur horror film vibe. That looked really good. And of course, we have a little game called Star Wars Outlaws. I'm sure you've heard of it. That went wrong, didn't it? I thought the speakers were off. So let's pop the headphones on, make sure that the audio is working as we get into the last 30 seconds. I suppose the big thing today is how cringy are the questions going to be from the interviewers. And yeah, hopefully this one's better. It's all on Towerborne for me. I think Towerborne, I know Star Wars Outlaws is my kind of thing. I just want to play it now. I want to see what the gameplay's like. But I'll be interested to see what they show. World of Warcraft is always interesting to see. Yeah, there's like, it's your usual Bethesda-y stuff. There's some Fallout 76. There's some Elder Scrolls Online. There's the usual stuff that you expect from Bethesda.
Welcome to Gamescom, live from the Xbox booth.
In just a few minutes, the team from Star Wars Outlaws will show off some gameplay from one of the most anticipated games of the year. Then we'll tell you how to get into the newest chapter of World of Warcraft, even if you've never played before.
I'm so excited for that, but later it's time to talk
I've never played Warcraft
the
before.
squad from Elder Scrolls Online stops by to unpack what fans can expect from this latest chapter and show off some game-changing features.
Plus, we've got more from Microsoft Flight Simulator, Fallout 76,
they haven't mentioned it anywhere, but Doom is being advertised. Doom is obviously there. Doom the Dark Ages. Unless that's just a screen that shows off what's coming soon.
Many other titles.
But first,
I hope we get some Doom. I mean, Doom's massive. It looks amazing. I'm kind of at the please be good
Kay Vess.
Point with this game.
The Underworld's favorite new scoundrel.
It's the facial animations that I want to see improved.
This is your one shot. A safe filled with 157 million credits. And I can get you inside.
Get in. How about getting out? This job, it's a death wish.
I'd rather see an extended cinematic so we sort of judge the face. I think it's her face that's the problem.
Over. Your family, friends.
The alien faces look fine.
There's nowhere in the galaxy you can hide.
You want to live? Get in with the Underworld's most dangerous syndicate.
Was that Cora?
And pull off the greatest heist the Outer Rim has ever
I think it looks better. The ship stuff is going to be fun. Oh. And Nyx is just the star of the game.
I'm in.
Maybe it's not the facial animations, maybe it's just how the lips move. We'll be playing that next week, by the way. It's looking good. I just love that era of Star Wars, so I'm all in for it.
Adventure. Please welcome creative director Julian Garrity. How you doing?
Oh, it's this guy.
Excited.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, that's a
Hopefully he's not a prick. Last time we saw him, he was okay, so maybe he can
What do you think?
keep
awesome.
warming up to us.
The music gets me every time. I love the characters.
Yeah.
The locations look great. So from a point of view of somebody who's just discovering it, I'm very happy.
Good. I mean, can you set the scene for us a little bit? Because although that did give us a little look at what we're going to be getting up to, what is Star Wars Outlaws exactly?
What is Star Wars Outlaws?
It's a Star Wars game.
It's the first ever open world Star Wars RPG game that features scoundrels, outlaws. My favorite archetype of Star Wars. So it's really giving you the keys to be part of the underworld, part of the galaxy of Star Wars on your terms.
I love the sound of it because you're right. This is a brand new experience for a lot of players.
It's the Star Wars game that I think a lot of us have always wanted. Even if you can't create your character, the scoundrel stuff is always really cool.
And we've seen a bit of Toshara, we've seen a bit of Tatooine. You've picked some great locations for the game, but now we're going to get a little look at the planet Akiva, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
So this is
the planets look amazing.
The first time we really dive into Akiva. And Akiva was only ever featured in a series of books called Aftermath. So we're the first to take those words and to transform them into something lush, beautiful,
read any
complex.
Star Wars books.
And complex not just
but
in
I know
scenery,
the Aftermath
but also
series
in the
has like Boba
politics,
Fett
the
and
dynamics
stuff.
that are happening. You'll be able to see while Kay runs around the streets of Mira, the main city.
It's very beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It is gorgeous, I'll give him that.
And you'll see that there's stormtroopers, there's an Empire presence, and the Pikes and the Hutts are also fighting it out. So Empires and Syndicate presence within the city, within the planet as a whole.
Well,
it does feel like the city's alive with all these people walking around, these voices going on.
About the game, one thing your team's really proud of in particular with Star Wars Outlaws is those hubs of where Kay can get her intel, and that all starts with cantinas. Now, the cantinas that we have on Akiva
I'm also getting
very
a
different to the ones we have on
stealth vibe with
Tatooine.
this.
Tell me a bit about how you go and design
feels
these,
like it's
make
more
sure
of
they feel like
an
Star Wars
Uncharted
cantinas, but
style
also
stealth
reflective
game
of the planet
rather
or moon
than
that they're on.
Absolutely. So the cantina
all-out
is
action.
this flashpoint of everything that makes Star Wars special. And the approach, the design philosophy that we worked with Lucasfilm Games really allowed us to understand the simplicity, relatability, and yet difference that all of these locations can take. So, for example, in the real world, you have jazz bars, you have Korean barbecues, you have all of these different types of location. So each one of these had to have a different type of vibe. Here in Akiva, it's a tropical tiki bar. So that's the vibe that we were going for there.
Sounds great, and it's obviously a great place to meet up with these crime syndicates and get some jobs. How do they make an impact on the game?
So of course, this is a game about the underworld of Star Wars. And there are 4 main syndicates. There's maybe more, but there are 4 main syndicates that you'll be dealing with. The Pikes, the Hutts, the Ashiga clan that we created with Lucasfilm Games, and the Crimson Dawn.
Fire, right?
And
okay.
you, as an outlaw, are going to be able to work on your reputation with each one of those.
Ion, plasma,
doing
different
jobs
modules.
For some, betraying others, and building.
From
your
what we've gathered, you only have the one
accordingly.
pistol,
so
but you can upgrade it to do different things.
And your personal story.
Obviously, Ion is going to be great against
That's
droids.
incredible. So they
shields.
will form a general structure that Kay can live out this story in, but how much agency do players have?
Oh look, he ships with a map,
maybe go off
a
the
city
beaten
map.
path,
Wow,
maybe take
that's
Kay down
revolutionary.
Some darker routes, or playing the good guy a bit.
100%.
I was playing
up to you.
Starfield yesterday.
So, for example, here
You might have seen the
this is
video
the
over
first
on Top
time we
Place
ever show
Games.
this quest. And it's a quest where
I'm sorry, I
you've
shouldn't be
landed
ragging
in
on
a Kiva.
Starfield.
Your main focus is to go
I
pick
like
up
the
a
customization.
droid smith that you need to pull off this heist that we've been talking about.
That's cool. You can change your holster and everything.
Million credits.
I mean,
That's
I
a
don't
lot
know
of
why you
credits.
would, but
And to do that, you're going to have to upgrade your equipment.
And
Which,
Nyx
we're
can have
doing
a little-
there.
yeah.
We're making
little
sure that
things.
your loadout is the right one. You jump on your speeder, and you'll be
That's
able to
cool.
be distracted by curiosity on the way. So you're speeding off. You're on the way.
I hope the
It's
speeder
quite a
feels
journey,
good.
And on that journey, you're going to be able to do jumps, tricks.
Nice.
The bike is based on a motocross, so it
Makes
feels
sense.
visceral as well.
Right.
And you'll be able to come across different things. Like here we have an Imperial shuttle landing. Do you go and mingle with those people? Do you mess
Hell
around
yeah.
with the Empire at this point?
Don't shoot them
or
all.
do you save it for a little bit later on? Because guess what? That droidsmith, he's going to be located in an Imperial compound.
Oh, just our luck. Just
our
our
luck.
Well, how well equipped can the player be to tackle? That's not a compound. That's a fortress. I mean, what does Kay bring to the table to be able to deal with these kind of scenarios?
Well, she's got to have the equipment to be able to do that. And that starts off with things like your binoculars to be able to scope the different opportunities. There's not just one way in. There are several ways in. The
Splinter Cell
surest
vibes.
way to meet a very certain end is to go in guns blazing. Because this is the Empire.
Oh, grappling
we're
hook.
talking
Yeah.
about. So
Okay,
it's a
I'm in.
massive force in front of you.
I love a grappling
We're
hook.
going to go stealth.
Okay.
And binoculars, one thing.
We're gonna
Blaster,
go
another.
stealth, said no one
Nyx,
ever.
Incredibly
Stealth is not a
important.
viable
Let's
gameplay.
Just have a taste of
Stealth
how
is the thing you
Kay
do to get you
uses
close to the
Nyx.
base before you start
She's going to
shooting.
be sending me across and attacking, clawing the hell out of that stormtrooper.
I feel bad for the guy. That's
You shouldn't. He's there. He's built for this.
Was that a
Okay.
You
perk
take
or
out the
something?
second stormtrooper, and now you have to hack
Fast
through
talk,
that laser
0
barrier
of
to
2.
be able to get into the gooey good stuff in the middle
Yeah.
of that fortress.
so. There's quite a few different
Julian's
ways of
coming across quite well
engaging
in this. I'll give him
in
that.
a mission like this.
Absolutely.
What
The
would happen
first
if
time they
we
showed this off, he
did
came
go
across
in
really
blasters
badly, I
blazing?
thought.
Would it be a big problem
But
for us on
he's
this particular
definitely
mission?
had some
This
PR
is an
lessons,
Empire
or he's just
compound,
loosened
so
up a little
that's
bit.
gonna be a real
And
problem.
Okay.
he seems a lot
I'll
more
take your
chill.
advice on it.
One of the conditions is that you don't set off the alarm, because if the alarm sets off, you're going to shut down that compound.
Fair enough.
You may revisit the compound later on to be able to steal more stuff and to really find all of the treasures. And there, you can do it the way you want.
That's
But
cool.
ATSTs guarding the door, you've got a blaster and Nyx. Do you really want to put yourself in that sort of situation?
Yeah, I can
I
handle
could
it.
take my chances, honestly. Earlier on, though, we did see with Kay's using her blaster now, but before that, she was working on it a bit on her workbench.
Yes.
Inside the Trailblazer.
That-
What is that all about? Is that like
That's-
upgrading? Or?
Yeah, that's absolutely upgrading your weapon.
Okay.
Because we want this to be about a resourceful underdog. And a resourceful underdog, they have one main tool that you can
Yes.
upgrade. You can have a charge blast, which is like a rocket launcher.
What?
And, plasma, which is the regular blaster
Right.
with speed mode to it, so it feels like an automatic weapon. And you have one function, which is the shock function, which we'll see a little bit later on.
Nice.
Oh,
I
yeah,
love
there's
the
the
way
shop
that she
thing,
even
isn't there?
moves
Yeah.
around. Like you mentioned before, Scoundrel Archetype's one of your favorites, but the movements of Kay, the mannerisms, the swagger, really communicates that so well.
It's something that we worked on Division 2.
Right.
And those are trained military agents,
Yeah.
civilian agents, but with military
that's cool.
training. Here we wanted to resource.
You can set up dual attacks with
Nyx. You
Nyx.
have to have that different movement. But all of those mannerisms and that sort of swagger that you see there, that's Umberly.
Oh, the environments look so good.
And she'll be able to tell you all about it.
Okay, great. I'll make sure to. One thing that I want to point out as well.
Yeah, you messed
We
that
did
up.
just talk about the blaster a little bit. We're getting to see some of the action over there. Nice shot, by the way. The sound of it, too. I mean, in Star Wars, there are so many sounds that are iconic. Players, you know, when we listen to them, it makes the hair on our arms
If you close your eyes and think TIE Fighter.
Yeah, TIE Fighter. I'm thinking like the seismic charge.
Yep.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh, the
but
Boba
Case
Fett.
Blaster
Sorry,
also has a
Jango
really
Fett,
satisfying
Slave 1
punch to
seismic
it.
charge.
So tell me about the process for making sure that you're designing a weapon sound-wise, the feel of it, the look of it, making sure it's authentically Star Wars, but also brand new, something that you've created.
We have to get inspiration from the past, get inspiration from the original trilogy, because this adventure happens.
That is the best
between
Star Wars
Empire
as well,
Strikes
isn't it?
Back
The
and
original
Return of the
trilogy
Jedi.
is
Right.
the
So
best Star
we had
Wars.
access to all of those things. And then the pleasure is looking at that, working with that, and coming up with something that sounds new and that become its own sound. And that extends from the sound design to...
So there's things you can pick
the
up for
music
upgrades
of
and
the
stuff.
piece, which I think is remarkable. We
Yeah,
heard it
gorgeous.
in the trailer. It's fantastic.
Anytime I hear the horns, honestly, I'm goosebumps. It's crazy. So we finally find our droid smith here then, I guess.
Yeah, who's not particularly happy to see you. So I'm not going to spoil the story, but the droidsmith,
Go back to her
Gadik,
facial
has a
animations.
past with you.
Okay.
And he's ended up working with the Empire, so you know he's made some really bad
Oh
decisions.
dear, yeah. It's not great. I mean, he's already got a protocol droid firing a gun at us. I never thought I'd see that. But
I got a problem with a gatekeeper droid.
now that's caught his interest.
That's caught his interest.
Interesting.
There's a real challenge. There's a real opportunity. It's not motivated by the
We're
credits.
not
but
picking
tinkering around
conversation
with
options
some,
here.
some
This
new
is a
tech.
cutscene.
I like
That's
it.
what catches his eye.
I could get on with this guy.
Yeah, I think the
problem
face is
is,
better
once
than it was
we
originally. It doesn't look as
extract
rubbery.
We have to get out as well, right?
And that's where the blaster comes into its full use.
Nice.
So this is going to be part of one of those main quests. It's a linear quest, and there's a whole path where you explode into
that kind of feels Star Wars.
the combats, and you use all of the tools at your disposal.
Right.
Before we
I'm looking forward to this.
edited a little segment which was a puzzle room.
Right,
We didn't want to spoil the puzzle. We didn't
I'm
want to
looking
spoil
forward
the
to this.
traversal.
Next
We
week,
wanted
guys.
to
Next week
focus
we'll be
on
playing it.
the real action of
Gonna be
this
a busy week
Great.
next
and now
week.
we're getting some serious combat because there was no chance to sneak there. Everybody's just
That's
whipped
it.
over and saw us immediately.
Let's just escape.
But this is where Kay sort of comes into her own because scoundrels, they love to improvise. They're good under pressure. And so I
Active
guess
reload.
you want
Here's
to
a Watchtower.
encouraging players to make sure they
Interesting.
look around them.
Back to
identify
vials for
bits
health
that are
capsules,
useful,
okay.
Send Nyx out, play around with it a bit.
All of those tools, you've got an adrenaline shot. If
Splinter
you
Cell.
recognize
mark
that
and
it
execute.
allows you to slow time,
I like
pick your
that.
targets, and it's an automatic kill.
I always
Nice.
love that. Hey, Mike, how we doing?
That's a bit more.
Good,
of a
you stealth
problem,
Star Wars
This guy's
game.
got a shield,
Yeah,
and one of
I'm
your
actually.
modules will
I'm
be
really
able
into
to
this.
disable that shield, opening
Great.
them up for the deadly shot.
And all right, it's stealth, but if the action plays like The Division, I'm okay
Absolutely
with it because
stunning.
I always had fun with The Division.
And that's it. You grapple hook out and
we're
escape the
clear.
base.
Find 4 different
You
ways to
it
make
seem
Nyx
so
happy.
easy. I'm gonna
Head
try it, and
rubs,
it's not gonna
chin
be that
rubs.
I wish I was
belly
playing
rubs.
this. There's a whole team, and they've done
Back
an
rubs.
amazing job.
There we
of
go.
capturing
4 different ways
Yeah,
to keep
I mean,
Nyx
right
happy.
at the end there,
Can
we
you
also got a
pet the
little sizzle, a
Nyx?
little taster of the rest of what's to come in the game. And one thing in particular I spotted there was some sabak happening as well.
Yep,
So
sabak.
you got to tell me about that because I love it.
Sabak is a big part of the scoundrel lifestyle.
Yeah.
So we wanted to create our own rules, which gave us this depth of play and being able to collect special cards that change the rules of the game while you go along. So there'll be tournaments, there'll be high stakes games, there'll be a lot of credits to win.
It's like
as well.
Red Dead Poker.
Great. Well, I'll have to get practicing
Nice.
on that, definitely. But so I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. This has been incredibly insightful.
He's
Cannot
come
wait
off
to
really
play the
well in
game. It's
this,
not too long
which is
until
nice to see.
No,
Buckle
next
up.
week. Next
Buckle
week.
up. Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us, Julian. Next up, though, to celebrate the launch of Star Wars Outlaws, we decided to test some lucky fans on their Star Wars knowledge. Let's see how they got on.
Welcome to the home of Star Wars Outlaws here at the beautiful Xbox booth. And it's time for a massive giveaway. So we've rounded up some fans for a chance to win some very fabulous prizes. How will they earn this sweet loot, I hear you ask? Well, Star Wars trivia, of course. So here's how it's going to work.
This is, it's not a reveal show, is it? This is just, this is what's happening at Gamescom.
And if they answer correctly, they will win a beautiful Nyx plushie. Isn't it adorable? Wow.
I want one for the shelf.
They will be given a more difficult Star Wars Outlaws question. And if they answer that one correctly, they will win one of these custom Xbox Design Lab Elite Series 2 controllers and be entered to win one of our grand
we can
prize
customize it though,
Star
right?
Wars Outlaws Xbox Series
oh,
X
that's
and
cool.
S consoles. Are you ready?
The control is beautiful.
I'm here with the lovely Citron. And where are you from, Citron? I'm from Cologne. Amazing. Are you ready to win some prizes? Yes. Okay, let's go. First question. What is the name of the main character of Star Wars Outlaws?
K-Vess. Where's my plush?
Yes. What's her last name? Vess. Yes, let's go. That's a name
because they just said
for
it.
you. Well done. That's yours. Something to color.
I bet they're expensive
on eBay. Okay, are you ready
on
for your
eBay.
next question? It's going to step up a little. Ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
What is the name of K-Vess's starship?
Trailblazer, because they just said it.
You can do this, Citron.
It's the ship.
I don't know.
Take a guess.
The Falcon?
Oh, so close, but it's not correct. Well, we still got your Nyx plushie, so well done, though. Yay!
Wait, did they win the Xbox? No, they won a controller, didn't they?
Okay, I am here with
Jan.
Jan, lovely to speak to you. And where are you from today?
I'm from Switzerland.
Stunning. Are you ready to win some Star Wars prizes? Yes, let's go. Okay, question
Really? This is
number
what we're
one.
doing?
What is the name of K-Vess's main companion?
The little guy called Nyx.
Yes, it is! And here he is now.
World of Warcraft's probably next.
Good. Okay, are you ready to step up a level now?
Yes.
Man, this is...
And how can
yeah,
Nyx
this
help
is
K in battle in the game?
So he can attack people and pull levers and stuff.
That sounds good to me. I think that's correct. Let's go. GG's. Well
I mean,
done.
that's quite a cool
This Star Wars
prize.
controller is yours.
200 quid custom Xbox controller.
I'm here with
Marcel.
Marcel. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Are you ready to win some Star Wars prizes?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. First question. What's the launch date of Star Wars Outlaws?
It's the 13th
27th.
of August.
Yes, it is. GG's. Woo! A Nyx for you. Let's go. Not long at all as well. Are you ready for your next one?
It's about,
Oh, yes.
Okay. Between
Tuesday?
which two classic Star Wars movies do the events of Star Wars Outlaws take
yeah,
place?
next Tuesday.
The Empire Strikes Back and the Return of the
I thought
Jedi.
they said these were going to be hard questions.
Well done, Marcel. You win the controller. A true Star Wars fan. GG's. Well done.
Yeah, thank
You
you.
really asked them anything about actual Star Wars.
I'm now here with
God.
Ilga. How are you today?
Thank you very much, fine.
Awesome. Let's win some Star Wars prizes together. You ready?
Yes, I am.
First question. What is the preferred weapon of K-Vess?
It's a blaster.
Yes, it's a heavy blaster. Let's go. And next plushie for you.
It's a blaster. A blaster's a blaster,
Well
right?
done. Are you ready to step it up a level?
Yes, of course.
Next question, a bit harder. Where did K grow up?
On Tatooine, but I have forgot the exact place.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It was
didn't know that.
Cantonica and Canto Bite, but so close. Well done. Enjoy the next plushie.
Oh, she grew up on Canto Bite.
Woo, let's go. Woo. Yay. Woo. Okay, I'm now
Wow,
here
we're really
with
wasting time on this, aren't
Thomas.
we?
Lovely
You
to
could be
chat to
showing
you.
us
Are
the
you ready
game.
to win some Star Wars prizes?
I hopefully do, yeah.
I believe in you. Okay, first question.
Yeah.
Who is the publisher of Star Wars Outlaws, the game?
It's Ubisoft.
Yes, it is! And next plushie for you! Woo!
This is worse than I expected from yesterday.
Okay, next
honestly.
question, a little bit harder now.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've tried.
What
let's see
type
if we
of
can-
droid is ND5? K's pal ND5. What kind of droid?
Stealth
It must be
droid.
a PX Commander.
Yes, it is! BS Commando droid!
Okay, this guy knows his Star Wars.
GG's.
that better?
Well, that's
that might
it
be a
for
bit better.
us here at Trivia Gamescom. But if you think you can do a little bit
It's
better,
terrible.
you too can enter for a chance to win a custom Star Wars Outlaws Xbox Series X with a controller stand or an Xbox
I love that
Series
controller
X.
and the controller
All
stand.
you need to do is head over to twitch.tv/Xbox.
Wait, they said it was a Series X. They were showing off a Series X.
Question: what species is Nyx? Good luck. Remember to answer in chat.
I don't know, alien.
And now is over to Henry with one of the beautiful voices from
Star Wars
Outlaws.
Nerdfest. Yeah, it feels, doesn't it? Feels like that.
Hey, they did pretty good. But joining me now is Kay Vess herself, Amelie Gonzalez. How you doing?
Happy to be
why
here.
did we
Exciting.
waste time on a quiz when you could be
I was
interviewing?
answering along with them.
Yeah, you got them all right, obviously.
Obviously. Nyx did too. We're
He's got his drink, he's happy.
He's so good.
Yeah, it's perfect, great. Now, I'm the sort of person that loves to know a Star Wars fan in particular. So before we get into talking how you're actually in the game, break down for me, what was your first, like,
Have they modelled Kay Vess's face on her or not?
Well, I grew up in Venezuela, so it was all in Spanish, and it was Guerra de
Don't
las
know if they
Galaxias.
have.
So, you know, that's something I love about Star Wars, is that it doesn't matter the color of your skin, what language you speak, where in the world you are, you all have a Star Wars story, and mine just happened to be in the other side of,
Chat, what's your Star Wars
South
story?
America. So it's exciting, you know, when I got to share about it with my family and friends. I got to relate to it in my language, in my culture.
Yeah, it was
What was their
definitely
reaction when
it's a
they
family
first
thing,
found
isn't
out
it?
that,
Like,
by the way,
my
I'm actually
dad
gonna be
showed
in
me
it
the New Hope.
Unreal.
So-
I mean, there was a lot of questions. I think
There's that family connection for a
my
lot of
family
people, I think,
also,
certainly
especially
my
my
age and
parents,
younger.
they started watching all of the movies, especially when I shared that it was in the original trilogy between Empire and, you know, Return of the Jedi. So I did too. I think I like blasted the Star Wars theme song, and I watched the movies, and anytime I see anything Star Wars, I just have this like, Star Wars! You know?
Part of us.
I'm like,
yeah, that's
peace,
us.
yeah.
That's us. In terms of Kay and,
So
and
Space
playing
Marine
the
2 in the
role of a
background.
scoundrel, where did you have to go for that? What did you have to reach into to sort of conjure up this character?
I mean, obviously, we've seen scoundrels in this timeline, like the likes of Han Solo and Lando Calrissian, but they're so confident. They have the expertise. They know what they're doing because they're out there in
You're
the
proud
galaxy.
to say you don't have a Star
Unlike
Wars
Kay,
story. Fair
she's
enough,
a
Mike.
rookie. She's not an expert scoundrel.
There is a limit
but,
to fandom,
you know,
that is true.
She's a survivalist, and
Star Wars
her
is
and
one of
Nyx,
my big,
you know,
big,
survive
big
off
three,
of
big
Odd
five,
Jobs
maybe
and
big
Canto
five.
Bay, and they're dreaming of more.
I'm definitely
I
Star
love
Wars over
the
Star
attitude,
Trek
you
and
know,
stuff
the
like that.
charm, the witty banter, the swagger that they have, and you know those characters were
That's a
obviously
really cool
inspiration.
mocap
but,
setup. Here's your
I
speeder.
got to try
Here's
to
your
bring my own
companion.
heart to it. You know, Kay Vess has flaws.
That's
She's
probably how they
imperfect.
filmed
She has
the
a
prequels.
vulnerability that I feel I brought to the role even from the first tape that I sent in back in 2022. You know, so that's something. You know, it's a collaboration from the whole team.
2022.
Well, the whole
that's,
team's really important
That's
to it
quite a
because
short
when you're playing
development
through it,
cycle,
you
then.
even
Considering they've
hear
mocapped a lot of
the
it.
like banter between
think.
Kay and ND5, and you're like, God, I really am a Kay Vess. This is so relatable.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
awesome. Yeah. What's it like working with a wider team then on building a new cast of characters to put into a franchise like Star Wars? Did you have to work together too much, or?
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, when you walk into a franchise that's already established, I guess you understand so much of it, the tone, you know, just kind of the general vibe of what we're making. But because it's motion capture,
Right,
you
yeah.
require
It is
so much
mocap,
aid
yeah.
in visualizing what the world is going to look like. I don't have the luxury of relying on sets and costumes and hair and makeup. I mean, we're in the mocap studio in like these cat suits, wetsuits with these markers. We're in a volume surrounded by hundreds of infrared cameras that are capturing our every
I
movement.
love that they've
It's a lot
employed
more
someone to
intentional. You
mocap
have to have this awareness
the
of your
plush
body and your instrument.
just to move around.
And you rely so much on the director, the writer, the storyboards. Sometimes they say, okay, we're about to do this kind of scene. So they pull up, you know, inspiration from the TV shows, from movies
Right.
that have previously been done to capture just the air of what we're trying to make, because we have to create it in our mind's eye.
So that must be a completely different way
But
of
it's
bringing
tough.
characters to life compared to like film or television, which you have done before. And
Yeah.
you have worked in games before, but this is clearly the most involved project that you've ever been on,
Absolutely.
right?
From top to bottom. I mean, I'm there every day in almost every scene. I've recorded over like 11,400 lines for the game. So I hope you enjoy my voice. You're going to hear a lot of it. It's expansive, you know, and it takes years to create it. They've been working on it for a couple years before I jumped on back in 2022. So it's a long process. It's an incredible journey. I truly have grown alongside KVS. So even though I've done video games before, leading a game requires a lot more responsibility. But I was ready for it.
Totally. I can't wait to
We'll
play
see
the
what
game,
she's
honestly.
like.
It just looks absolutely incredible.
My biggest concern
Surely
about the game is how relatable and how interesting KVS is. So if she brings it to life and it's a well-written story...
Thanks so much for joining me. I cannot wait to play the game. It's not too long till it launches either, so
I know.
you're going to get to see how other people react. It's hitting people on August 30th. I'm going to get my Sabak face ready for it so that I'm good to go.
Keep your cards close.
Very close.
You can use Nyx to cheat, but don't tell anyone.
He's great for that, right? Well, I'll let you enjoy the rest of the
use
game.
Nyx to cheat your cards.
But coming up, we celebrate 20 years of Warcraft with the new War Within expansion. We're going to find out what fans can expect from the latest Elder
Should have
Scrolls
gone with
Online
no, Claudia
update.
Black's
And
busy.
next up,
She's
we're
doing
catching up with the
she's
team
doing
from
too
2
much
Point Studios
BioWare
on
stuff.
their latest title, 2 Points Museum. But first, the die has been cast, and that is only the beginning. Check out the new expansion coming to Lost in Random.
Companion cube? No, maybe not. I don't know what Lost in Random is. Oh, I recognize the logo. What does the dice do?
What in random? We're not dead, Fortune.
A dice wielder. Oh, luck has finally turned.
Anyway, what you having?
Let's make this one count.
I'm getting like Hades-esque vibes from my limited knowledge of Hades.
Come here, girl, and accept your punishment.
Looked interesting. Coming to Game Pass as well.
Greetings from the amazing
We'll give that
CSUN
a try.
Games, developers of the upcoming cross-platform online multiplayer game Mecha Break, launching in
Cross-platform is cool.
2025.
This does nothing for me though. I'm not a mecha fan. You keep your mechs. Closest I've got to mechs is Pacific Rim. And is it the Mantis in Halo? That was cool. Like, I might be wrong.
Showcase some gameplay through Mecha
Call me
Break's
out if you
format.
want. I've got no
6
problem with
versus
that.
6 squad missions.
They all look the same. Armored Core, this one, like, they just all look the same to me.
We'll demo the Eye of Mizra map, where the goal is to earn points by capturing and uploading launch keys. The striker we're featuring is Falcon, a lightweight mech that excels in aerial combat.
And they all have that obligatory slow motion shot, don't they?
Players can maneuver during their dive into the fight, controlling their landing spot at the match's start to open strategic options that can turn the tide of battle. For example, Falcon
There's
excels
far
in
too
aerial
much
support
camera shake
and
going on for me.
reconnaissance. Pilots
Just
must be
watching it is
agile,
giving me a headache.
coordinating hit-and-run tactics with teammates while staying under the radar. We've refined combat to ensure it feels satisfying both in the air and on the ground, with each
The
mech
mobility
having
looks cool.
unique attributes distinct from other shooters.
But it is
Each
making my
striker
eyes hurt.
has unique speeds, inertia handling, and specialized combat capabilities for seamless transitions between aerial and ground attacks. When implementing that, our main challenge was balancing air and ground mechs, given the varying visibility, traversal paths, and cover types across our maps.
Okay,
we addressed
interesting.
this by carefully assessing each mech's strengths and weaknesses in multiple scenarios.
So they have tried to balance it then.
On the Mercury Shipyards map, The goal is to move a payload to the finish line. Seizing checkpoints along the way speeds up the payload. Brace yourself to face threats from both
this
air
all just
and
sounds
ground
like
with your squad.
generic PvP game mode.
Showcasing another striker,
2, 3, 4.
Tricera. Wielding dueling Gatling guns, Tricera is a ground-based striker that often serves as the tank for a team, boosting efficiency when pushing the payload.
There'll be an audience for it though.
Tricera's
Did they say it was free to play as well?
Features an anti-missile system that uniquely protects the payload or control points. Another powerful ground striker is Stego. When transformed, Stego specializes in long-range fire support as an ultra-heavy striker armed with the big guns. On the Krob sinkhole map, the goal is to collect mining data
That's a cool looking
by
map.
capturing data nodes, making teamwork and strategy essential.
Titanfall as well. Titanfall's mechs, isn't it?
Panther
Titanfall's
is
cool.
a brawler equipped with a powerful lance and shield booster kit. Panther's devastating charged attacks.
Oh, EA,
defense
if you
capabilities
want to
make it a
make a
fearsome
fan out of me
opponent
for
in
the
close
rest of
combat.
your lives,
But
just give us a
Panther
Titanfall
isn't the
3.
only brawler in Mecha Break. Be prepared to face Elysius and Welkin, two melee machines.
You wouldn't have to make another game. Honestly, just make
Take out
Titanfall 3.
enemies both at a distance and up close. The brawlers have unique finishing moves that keep the action intense.
It kind of looks like J.J. Abrams went ham with special effects, doesn't it? Or Michael Bay. It's probably more Michael Bay.
Swift air attacker that can transform into a bomber to rain fire on enemy forces.
It's Michael Bay with the lens flare.
The elegant yet lethal Narukami rules the battlefield with pinpoint sniping and advanced optical camouflage, making it
Oh,
almost
why is all
impossible
the coffee
to
gone?
capture the sniper. We invite you to join us on this exciting journey with Mecha Break. Stay tuned for its commercial release in 2025.
Coming next year. Okay.
Welcome, esteemed guests, to 2 Point Museum's Coastal Deep Dive. The Marine Life Museum in 2 Point County is, just as you'd expect, situated along the
wacky.
coast
It's so
and boasts a
wacky.
treasure trove of Wetlandian exhibits. Or at least it will do once you've hired some experts and sent them on perilous expeditions to unearth rare, but sometimes soggy sunken treasures. Discovering and maintaining the happiness of aquatic life is also a big attraction of the Marine Life Museum. And fish have a surprising number of requirements to meet if they're to stay happy and, swimming. Guests will be wowed by the remnants of Wetlantis, and the more impressed they are, the more they will donate. The more donations means more funds to keep your facilities clean, everything nicely decorated, and vending machines well stocked. Once you uncover the Marine Life Museum, you can then hire Wetlandian experts in all your other museum locations. From there, you can grow your aquatic collection throughout your 2 Point Museum empire. Thank you for attending this coastal deep dive.
Is it coming to Game Pass? No, it's not. That's a shame. I do like a 2 Point.
If you've ever dreamed
like 2
of
Point
running
Hospital's
your
one I
own
played out,
museum or just really enjoy the 2 Point series of games, then listen up, because our next guests have the game for you. And me, here to tell us all about 2 Point Museum, please welcome 2 Point Studios design director Ben Huskins and executive producer Joe
Todd, stick with Dragon
Welcome
Age. You can find
to
Mike.
Gamescom to Cologne.
It's great to be here.
It's just a cozy
How's
game.
Germany treating you?
Oh, absolutely
Super
love
chill.
it. Absolutely love it.
The
It's
weather
such a
is
great.
good?
The atmosphere is incredible.
Are they a
It
British
is.
studio?
Little
Because the
bit too
humour's
warm,
a little
but
British.
That's okay.
That's okay. And the halls are cooled, so everything okay. And today's the first consumer day, so we're really excited to have you here. So, 2 Point has
really wanna
taken
go.
on education with campus, on medicine with hospitals. So now, Ben, how did you come up with the idea, the theme of museum, and why should fans be excited about this game?
Yeah, well, the thing that's great about museums is that they have these amazing collections of completely unique exhibits. And as soon as we started talking about museum as an idea, we got really excited about what if we let players build up their own unique collections of exhibits. And that got us thinking about, well, like, how do players get these exhibits? They can they
Steal
can
them.
send their experts off on expeditions around the county. They can basically explore and
Used to love
discover.
these
We really
games.
love this idea of getting across this sense of exploration
I mean,
and
this,
discovery and
the 2 point stuff
anticipation
feels
about
like
what
the
might
very
come
old
back when your
Sim
team
style,
comes back from an expedition.
but it's
and
more
this just got
focused
us
on
really
one
excited
institution
about,
rather than building a
getting
city
these
or something
exhibits,
like that.
and then of course once you've got them,
there
putting
was
them on
one
display
back in the
your
90s, wasn't
museums,
there?
and actually that
Where you can
whole
make a
side
theme
of it
park
as
and
a
stuff?
museum manager, you deciding how you lay things
I can't
out,
remember what
and
they
you
were. They're
deciding
basically
where do you
spiritual
put your most
successor to that
impressive
kind of thing.
exhibits, where do you want to channel your guests through the museum, and how do you give them the best possible experience?
I've got some ideas, but I've also saw in the trailer that you welcome families. I saw a lot of little children climbing on very precious exhibitions. So what do we need to look out for when we're welcoming those visitors?
So we were really excited to introduce children to 2 Point County, and I think it just felt like such a natural fitting,
trying to see what's going on in the
place for them
background.
to be. And with children, we've been introducing family groups, we've introduced school trips, and all sorts of, they're kind of like little agents of chaos, and they make a right mess of the museum, don't they? But we've also introduced a lot of other character types, like the professor, he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So he likes knowledge, doesn't he?
Yeah, so when professors come in, you need to focus a bit more on education, because they're going to donate money based on how much they learn about all of your exhibits. And then if you've got frozen items, you'll get
the Yetis. I love them. I love the frozen exhibits particularly. So you also have to maintain your exhibits. So with frozen items, you need to have your freezer cooler, and then you'll get Yetis come to visit.
So if I have all these visitors, how do I keep them happy throughout the game?
So I particularly love decorating. So for me, I keep my visitors happy by making a beautiful museum. So I look into the customization options, the lighting, decorative items, and try and make a really incredible space for them to enjoy.
Yeah, Joe's museums are usually a work of art, whereas my museums, I guess my philosophy is more, fill their minds with wonder, empty their wallets. That's more my approach.
Yeah,
that's my approach.
My
100%.
museums tend to end up being a bit of a hellish labyrinth where visitors have to go through about 5 different gift shops before they can escape the museum. Don't get me wrong, they still have a good time, they just leave with no money.
So in another world, you would be managing a theme park also.
Well, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
I get it. So is each museum restricted to one exhibit type?
So you can actually put any exhibit in any museum. So we designed the game like this because we wanted the players to really have freedom to build and design the museum however they wanted to.
And I
It sounds
saw
similar to the hospital
definitely
setup.
something new, which are unique fish in the game. So can you tell me
EA
more
Simulator,
about
yeah, pretty
the
much.
creation of these artsy creatures and how we can enjoy the fruits of that labor?
So we had lots of fun
How can
coming
we
up with the
fleece our
ideas for the
customers
fish.
before
I
they
think
see
with the
anything
exhibits in our
interesting?
game, sometimes we kind of pull on pop culture references, sometimes it's an idea for an animation, a joke or a pun, but with the fish, we kind of leaned quite heavily on real life reference.
They
but
do
then tried
like
to
a
inject
pun.
2 Point humour and charm into it. So, like for example, we've got the pufferfish. He's my personal favourite. He's very cute. He's got goofy eyes, puffy cheeks, and you can actually get him as a plushie in the gift shop, which is super cute. We've got the clownfish. He's small. He's got a red nose, so that's quite on the nose. We've also got the bull shark, who's kind of scary looking. He's a shark with a bull ring, and you actually have to keep him separate, or I do, because he does eat the little fish.
Okay, so talking about fish, let's talk about fish romance.
I mean, surely people want to watch that
on an
stuff, though.
Xbox broadcast. No, but seriously, how do we keep the fish population healthy?
Yeah, so I mean, the whole aquarium
They're showing
management
Doom.
feature as a
Maybe
whole, there's
we're gonna
quite a lot
get
of
some
depth to
Doom.
it, really, because there's all these different types of fish, and they all behave in different ways, and they all have different characteristics. And you're having to think about, do I have enough filters in the aquarium to keep them going? Do I have the right types of food for the different fish that I've got in there? Is the aquarium the right temperature for them? Because all the fish have different needs, different requirements. So there's quite a lot of depth to it. The aquarium management as a whole, it's almost a game in itself. So
you're
you have to
losing me.
think about how
It's
do I
like
keep them
bringing in a
healthy.
survival
'cause,
game. I'm
you can
not
even
into it.
name your
too much.
individual fish and get quite attached. It's Clive the fish. That's my favourite
don't
fish.
Get me attached, please not.
Yeah, and then
that's
while
Clive,
you're
the
nurturing them,
clownfish, yeah.
if you give them a nice little secluded area to hang out with, then maybe fish romance will blossom, and maybe you'll get nice little baby fish.
The ultimate relationship simulator.
Just one follow-up question. the name of my fish is called Bartholomew. If I want to know what he needs as food, what he really likes, where do I find it? Like, is there a fish tab or?
Oh yeah.
Ah, okay.
There's lots of info. Yeah.
Lots of information.
Yeah.
Interesting. And then how do you actually level up the whole museum?
Right, yeah, so as you begin to expand your museum, you're going to want to go on more expeditions to find a wider variety of exhibits to have in your museum. And of course, as you get more to add to your collection, you're having to think about where should I put them relative to the things that I've already got? How's it affecting my layout? Maybe I need to reorganize my whole museum layout.
What are they playing on?
And as you get more things, the visitors will want to stay for longer in your museums.
It looked like
you're
the
going to
old
need to put
Xbox
down,
One.
you know, cafes and you know, other facilities to keep them happy. Otherwise, the kids will get bored and then they'll leave, and the parents will be really angry. And so yeah, you need to build up your collection of exhibits. And just keep those guests staying as long as possible. And the thing we're really keen to do with museum is what we found is people get quite attached to their museums over time, because as you build up that collection, you're having to look after them, right? Because you don't want your fish to die. You don't want your frozen caveman in ice to melt, because that'll ruin it. Then you get quite attached to your museum, and you know, all of the hours you've spent noodling around laying things out. And so
noodling around.
What we do is we keep giving you reasons to come back to each museum, which is great, because I think you do really feel like it's become your own thing.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming. Fun. And everybody who is here at Gamescom,
I've never put a lot of time into them, but they're
just
fun.
Either at the Xbox booth or at the Sega booth, which is in the same hall, Hall 7. I love that we're neighbors. But then last but not least, I think you can wishlist it at home as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now, to the newest chapter in the Life is Strange saga and the supernatural murder mystery it revolves around. Check out what you can expect from Max Caulfield and the gang in this new gameplay walkthrough.
Max Caulfield, the girl who could rewind time, is back.
Let's thrash, Chakra.
But when one of her new friends, Safi Llewellyn and Fayyad, is murdered in the grounds of Caledon University, Max finds that her chaotic power has changed. Now, Max must shift back and forth to reveal the truth of her friend's murder in an attempt to save Safi before it's too late. Once Max's new power manifests, she can send a pulse out from her fingertips at any time. While Pulse is active, she can peer through to the other world, seeing the differences between the timelines clearly. People and objects in the other timeline appear as dimensional echoes, allowing Max to avoid watchful eyes when shifting.
Good thing I can keep an eye on Alderman from here. Wouldn't want to show up right in front of him.
What the hell?
While Pulse shimmers around her, she can also see places where the veil between the two timelines is at its thinnest.
Yeah, another young adult game.
These shift points are where she can push through to the opposite timeline to help her investigation in a multitude
this stuff isn't
of ways.
for me. I like that
timey-wimey
stuff that they have.
Allen wrench.
But I got that from Nobody Wants to Die.
Carla, but I think she took it back. If you can go grab that from her, I'll owe you.
This could be
if you could just go into another dimension and grab me an Allen key.
To reveal a secret, or retrieve an
object
pretty good,
lost in one people love this stuff.
By borrowing it from another.
Better give this wrench to Moses.
Shift points work in both directions, so you can shift back and forth from the same spot.
So I
what if you get confused which reality is yours?
Didn't know anything about a wrench.
No, Max, not literally Allen. It's... Oh. You are a lifesaver, Max. Dad joke aside.
I'll never apologize for my dad jokes.
If you're worried about losing track of which timeline you're in, well, Max herself may get confused too.
Have you talked to Reggie since yesterday? Reggie? Crap! Wrong Loretta, Max.
In the options, you can toggle a UI indicator every time you shift, confirming the reality you've just arrived in. As well as there being visual
the realities
cues
are called
such as
Dead and
cheery
Living.
Christmas decor in the timeline where Safi is alive. Most importantly to Max's investigation, everyone you meet has an increasingly divergent duplicate in the other timeline. Depending on which timeline you're in, they'll react to Max and her probing questions very differently.
This is kind of cool, though.
A grief-sodden conversation in one timeline may unlock an unexpected heart-to-heart in the other.
Grief is hard. The trick is not to let it change your character.
It absolutely has to be modeled after Neve Campbell from the 90s. Yeah.
And Max is the only one with a viewpoint unique enough to unravel those secrets and the determination to reach the truth at all costs.
Everybody's talking about her like she had a heart attack or a car accident. But she was murdered. Someone murdered her. I don't know how we're expected to just be okay with that.
Max has never been so powerful or in so much danger.
The voiceover's pretty good.
The fates of her friends and of two timelines are at Max's fingertips.
Sorry, not the voiceover, the you know what I mean. It's another one where if it dropped onto Game Pass, we might try it, but I'm not in a massive rush, and it's coming out in a very bogged out window for things I really want to play, so. It's coming out 2 days before Veilguard. Oh, that looked half-assed, didn't it? Is this World of Warcraft? Yeah, it must be. I don't know what's going on. So there's only been one non-cartoony game. Yeah, like I said, tomorrow is the big day for me. And they've already shown Outlaws, so there's only one other game I'm looking forward to today. But this is like old World of Warcraft, isn't it? This might be how it looks now, but this is how it looked 20 years ago. But I don't actually know what's going on here. All I know is in a couple of days, the big new celebration of 20 years drops. The War Within. Oh, it's in 4 days. Early access begins today.
World of Warcraft has had a massive impact on the gaming world, as well as myself, since it launched nearly 2 decades ago. And here to give us a glimpse into their plans for the latest expansion, The War Within, the 3-part World Soul Saga, and the next 20 years of World of Warcraft.
This is going to be like an hour of World of Warcraft stuff, probably.
From the team at Blizzard, please, Ian and Tina, introduce yourselves.
Hi, I am Tina Wong, Associate Art Director on The War Within. Super excited to be here and getting to chat with the Xbox community.
Hi, and I'm Ian Hazzikostas, Game Director on World of Warcraft. Really hyped to be here in Cologne at Gamescom, and excited to be part of the Microsoft family. Even though we're just a humble PC game, we've been welcomed into the Xbox fold,
yes, it's the first one since they were required.
I'm so excited for you guys to be here, especially as today is such a huge day for World of Warcraft.
Is World of Warcraft going to come to the Xbox?
We got a little thing or two brewing. Surely. I think in something like 8 hours and 10 minutes, but who's counting? We're going to be launching early access of The War Within to be followed
when you
a few
have
days
a
later
franchise
by the
that's
global
been going for 20 years, I bet it's tough to get people interested in it because there's so much that you've missed.
We have got one of the coolest experiences I think I've ever had at any gaming booth.
It's a fun art style, but the gameplay just doesn't look interesting to me. That MMO stuff doesn't really grab me.
This is a 4-minute VR experience. You're like, strapped in to this motorized device. You have air jets blowing in your face to simulate air rushing by you.
That sounds cool.
You are soaring through Dalaran in the middle of a surprise attack launched by the forces of Xal'atath and the Nerubians that very much mirrors what players are going to experience at the start of the War Within in the days to come.
Yeah, and you did mention that this is the start of a brand new era for World of Warcraft.
Good marketing.
Can you tell us the new features and what we can expect with the War Within?
Yeah, so the War Within is our 10th expansion, and I mean, I'm biased, but it's going to be a banger. It's the beginning
of be a banger,
the World Soul Saga, which is the greatest story we've ever tried to tell. And it's a story so big that we needed to make 3 expansions to tell it fully.
Insane.
And so the way this kicks off, champions and heroes around the world have been seeing these troubling visions, hearing things that sound like the world herself crying out for aid, crying out in pain. And as they investigate the source of this phenomenon, that journey leads them towards a land that is known as Khazalgar, a mysterious island off the coast of Kalimdor.
Yep.
Where they may come under surprise attack.
The naming is very much insert random fantasy generated name here.
Xal'atath. And so it starts out as a mystery, and that mystery will lead players into the underground of Azeroth, towards the heart of the world itself, into just fantastical environments,
fantasy, isn't it? That's how fantasy
it's just going to be an incredible adventure.
No, I can't wait. And Tino, I know you've got a load of brand new features that are going to be coming with the expansion. Can you tell us a little bit more
guys, you know what?
that?
I'm going to go make another
Ian
coffee. I need a pot of coffee today. Another pot of coffee today.
Is that
So
the world is such
I'll
like
leave
a
this
main
running.
character of it, right? So one of the key things coming out
Probably
is
just have
these zones.
Baldur's Gate 3 in
And
every
they're
possible
definitely some of
game
the most
genre. Can you
ambitious
imagine
and
Baldur's
unique
Gate
that
3
we've ever
first-person
created for World
shooter
of
where you play as
Warcraft.
Astarion?
For instance, delving underground, that's a
That'd be
unique
so cool.
challenge.
Right, I'll be back in a second. I'm just going to dip the camera when I find it.
With like the ringing deeps, where we have
don't go anywhere. I will be back.
forges and lava and these beautiful caverns.
I've lost the camera.
We also have an incredible zone called Hallowfall.
I genuinely have lost the camera. There we go.
Crystalline ceiling and the crystal that shifts from light to
Tom
dark.
needs caffeine
And then
today.
our deepest zone. You will find Queen Anthrac herself, in partnership with Xal'atath, and you get to see the height of the Nerubian Empire.
Yeah, no, and also there's of course, one of the big things with World of Warcraft as well, dungeons. Can you tell us about a few of the new dungeons that we're going to have in the War Within?
Oh yeah, so one of the fun ones that you get to experience as part of the story is this one that's the rookery that you find on the Isle of Dorne. And so you get to experience part of the culture of Khazalgar and seeing these riders, these storm riders. So that one is super fun. And then in Hallowfall, another favorite would be one where you're actually on an airship. So you get to fly around, there's epic battles, and you see that glowing crystal just in the backdrop.
Is that crystal? Oh, so I was going
to say, when we were setting out to build these underground environments, one of the challenges was making sure that it didn't feel claustrophobic, didn't feel oppressive. Like the zone of Hallowfall, it is so vast an underground space that the inhabitants need airships to traverse it. And so it's when you're down there, it's like you're in this underground world unto itself.
No, and it was really one of the really cool things we were talking about it a little bit earlier on was that the crystal changes, doesn't it, to impact the gameplay?
Yeah.
Which I'm really excited for. What other features do you have coming with the expansion as well?
Oh, so one of the things that we've built is Delves, which is a new feature for the expansion. And something that is a priority to us for Delves is that it really caters to a group of our audience that historically has been a little underserved by the end game progression loop that we have for those who maybe raid or do Mythic Plus. So these ones, they are outdoor world players, as we call it. We want them to feel like you're adventuring through the world and you come across just this mysterious location, whether you're diving into a sinkhole or seeing some tracks lead into a dark cave. We want you to be able to encounter these and still increase the difficulty level as you play so that you can progress your item level week to week.
So Delves are they're handcrafted experiences.
Yeah.
There are 13 locations around the zones of the War Within, and they're really meant to be a new alternative to dungeons, raids, and PvP as a new pillar of endgame progression. Cool. Whereas before, as Tina mentioned,
genuinely, I know I'm snarky about certain things. That's just my way.
You don't do the larger group content.
If I'm not interested in it,
enjoy the story,
I'm not interested in it.
But
I genuinely hope World of Warcraft fans
came to a stopping point.
I hope that this is everything they want it to be.
That all play styles feel welcome.
I really hope that
expansion. And that's something, you know,
it
as
is
we think
the
about the
celebration
features
of World
that
of
we're
Warcraft
offering
that
in our new
they're
expansion,
putting forward.
a lot of it is about playing the game the way you want to play it, having that
It just
flexibility.
doesn't get me. If they were talking about Halo, I'd be dialed in 100%.
So, like, a couple of other major
But a lot of
features
people
are
wouldn't be,
warbands,
so,
which
you know,
for
that's how it
once
is.
unifies the progression on most facets among your alts. So instead of having every character needing to earn reputation separately or their own currency, all of the characters on your account are now part of a warband. So the first thing you see when you log into World of Warcraft,
cool.
The War Within, is going to be not just one character standing there stiffly, but multiple characters huddled around a campfire representing your band of adventurers that you're taking into Azeroth.
All that grinding, getting all your characters ranked up and leveled up, to seeing them all together would be amazing.
It's honestly quite sentimental to see them all hanging out.
I have to make sure I do all the transmogs like all correctly and just make sure they all look great.
Exactly. And we've already seen people like taking screenshots and sharing them of like, this is your lineup. And then, yeah, like, I mean, we've reimagined the way flying and traversal work in World of Warcraft.
Imagine if you just loaded in and the main menu with the splash screen for Baldur's Gate 3 was all of the companions currently in
getting from point A to point B
camp just
should
sat
feel
in the camp,
exciting. It should feel like
Scratch
an
running
adventure.
around,
That's what we're trying to offer.
I always used to love that. I
That'd be
still
really
remember
cool.
the first time Burning Crusade where I got my flying mount for the first time and I had like 60% move speed and I was like, I'll get there eventually. Just give me some time.
Yeah, these are more like 600%.
Oh yeah,
So-
that's going to be way faster. Just do some tricks and blitz
Just a
across. Yeah, no, it's amazing. One of the other big things with World of Warcraft is there was a perception for like older players and like players that people have never played before. The War Within, you've kind of aimed to change that. Can you tell us a little bit more? What can players expect when they log in for the first time?
Yeah, I mean, really, it's features like what we've just been talking about. It's making sure that there is a deep solo experience if that's what you want. If you only have a little bit of time to spare, those delves take 15 to 20 minutes. Of course, if you want to, if you have hours on a weekend, there's an entire world to explore. We have hardcore raids to challenge, the boldest of adventurers and their friends as they coordinate to overcome these challenges. But I think, World of Warcraft is a game that can be played in so many different ways today to suit your, preferred content, play style, available time, and that's something that we really want to just keep doubling down on.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, a lot of people when they think about World of Warcraft, they think, oh, it's like too big, there's too much stuff to do, but really it's like, it's a world and that everyone can play the way that is fulfilling to them.
Yeah, and there's also opportunities just to hop straight into the new content as well. It's one of the things I've always liked. Like our whole Xbox One team, when Classic came back out, we all hopped back in for one of those reasons.
Exactly, and I think as any WoW player knows,
Did he just get the
a new
name of his
expansion
team
is
wrong?
the perfect time to come back
Isn't
to
it Xbox
WoW.
On,
I think
not
the War
Xbox
Within
One?
in particular, because
Right,
of
Kel's
the
just
fact
bothered.
that
We're back in a
it's kicking
second.
off this brand new story arc. We've also revamped the new player experience, the level up experience from 10 to 70 that gets you to the War Within, to be our latest expansion, Dragonflight.
Yeah.
So if you're coming back or you're coming in for the first time, you're playing the latest, newest content WoW has to offer, learning the ropes, and joining the rest of the world in the War Within.
No, I'm really excited. And also, World of Warcraft, I can't believe I'm saying this, is coming up to its 20th anniversary. What does that feel like being a part of the WoW team and for all the players?
It is humbling, truly. I've been playing the game for all 20 of those years. I've been on the development team for 16 years now. Like the large majority of my adult life has really been shaped and formed by this game, and it's an honor. And I think I'm so excited to celebrate that 20th anniversary coming up, but also kick off many, many years to come.
Yeah.
I'm also a long-time veteran in the game,
You take
playing
your coffee
since
black,
the
right,
beginning,
chat?
playing since Warcraft
That's
3,
all I'm
and been on
offering.
the team like 14 years now, and there's so many of these stories on the World of Warcraft team, and you can see that in what we put out there. Just
These
people
guys obviously
putting,
have a
like,
passion
their
for what they
passion
do,
and their
which is
history
good
with
to
the game
see.
into everything that we make.
No, it's amazing. Like, I personally love it. I can still remember growing up playing from the Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King, and it's so exciting to hit that 20-year mark. But for players that are looking to get involved in World of Warcraft for the first time and become part of the community, what can they do right now?
Yeah, I mean, so, we're talking about an expansion, but the
My
basic World of
biggest
Warcraft
concern
experience,
with
you can play
Warcraft
for free in our starter edition.
is
You can
that
level up
it's
to
such
20.
time
You can
sink.
experience the start of Dragonflight. And, just go to worldofwarcraft.com, download Battle.net, install it, jump in and check it out.
No,
If I started playing something like World of Warcraft or an MMO of that
and it's no
scale,
surprise it's coming up to the 20-year
I
anniversary.
wouldn't be playing anything else.
Do you have any
and I
final
feel like
thoughts
I'm
that you'd
missing
like
out on all
to
the
share
fun
with the
stuff.
fans?
Just, It's just
like when I was
such
playing
an exciting moment,
Destiny
really.
2,
I think coming up on 20 years, but also beginning this next
such
step
time sink, and I just didn't enjoy it. I got bored,
been working
but I played
on
it
War Within
because
for years.
it was something to do.
We have so many years
That's
of
why I don't play
content
anymore.
ahead that we have mapped
I'd
out,
rather
that we
play
have
different
planned
stuff
out.
and
It's going to be
stream
this
stuff for you
incredible
guys.
journey, narratively, in terms of the world we're building, in terms of the features. And just we're excited to welcome everyone in to begin it with us, and buckle up, because it's going to be a heck of a ride.
Yeah, no, I honestly, thank you so much. I've got one also final question. Horde or Alliance?
Depends on my mood that day.
Safe answer, safe answer.
That is a safe. What about you, Tuna?
My mood is more often Horde.
Horde.
Put it that way.
It's shifted over time. Currently, I'm more playing Alliance.
See, that's what I like. Always the Alliance. I've been Alliance since day one. Right, and I will stick to that with the War Within. But honestly, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it, you taking us through the War Within. But here, also, just a pro tip to avoid your own War Within. Please check out World of Warcraft, the War Within expansion, when it launches August 26th. Also, coming up, we'll give you a tour of the Xbox booth right here at Gamescom. Check out what studios have in store for fans here. And
Flight Sim
also,
could be nice to
celebrate
see.
a
It's always
decade
pretty.
of Elder Scrolls Online with a look at the latest chapter, Gold
Oh my
Road.
God, is Elder Scrolls
we also
Online a
unveiled the
decade?
real name of Project Birdseye, but first, it's time for a cinematic horror
Captain.
experience. This is the casting of Frank Stone.
This could be good.
This place is like super duper.
From what I remember, this has that really weird 70s horror vibe to it.
Everything's still so fuzzy about what happened, but there's one thing that always just stuck in my mind.
Oh, wow, you actually make the film.
I'm coming!
This is right where my dad came face to face with Frank Stone.
I think you're starting to see what we're up against.
Your call, Chris.
Drugstore. I don't want to risk missing.
I mean, that's good for Twitch,
Sure.
but
Curiosity Shop does look pretty cool.
We can check it out after.
Fair enough.
I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't this.
After 40 years of pain, why would you choose to live with more?
You're not okay, are you? I'm sleepwalking through a nightmare and I just can't seem to wake up.
There's no reward for me when I've done what I've got to do.
couch co-op, that's cool. Pass the controller. Oh, I love that kind of stuff.
I can't live in this
That's how we did.
Come on.
It's a prison. Something
first Dark Souls. I know it's slightly different, but
That is Frank Stone.
it's out very soon, September 3rd. Wow, that's probably what I'll pick up on sale. Genuinely interested in the single player stuff.
Xbox booth.
This is our home for Gamescom 2024.
There is so much to do here. There's so many experiences. We've got Xbox, Bethesda, Blizzard, and
We've
Activision
got-
all under one roof.
We have so much to see, so I think we
I could just see Outlaws.
split up.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Over here at the Age of Mythology Retold section, you can get your photo taken with
Oh
some
yeah,
certified
your
gods
free
and
lightning
goddesses.
bolt
Over
headband.
here's something even cooler, because we've actually got some game stations set up where you can play test the game right here at Gamescom.
Behind these walls, fans are experiencing, I think, the most anticipated expansion of this year, Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred. I can't wait to dive into the Dark Citadel and slay
Although it
swarms
does
of
look
enemies
pretty. It does
if
look very
I
pretty.
manage to do so. I think only time can tell, and speaking of time,
It's time to check out Diablo Immortal, because we just can't get enough of it around here. At the Diablo Immortal section, you'll be able to play the game itself on the little setups here, but also set
Don't
a
you guys have
leaderboard
phones?
time where you can potentially win an incredible Inarius statue, which looks unbelievable. But hey, what's that over there?
the Doomslayer has already graced many an
Nice.
Insta-story as he lords over the booth of Doom, the Dark Ages.
Is it there to play?
Fans can also celebrate
Maybe
10
not.
years of the Elder Scrolls Online by checking out the latest chapter, Gold Road.
We're
as
gonna
well as
have to
catching
play
a
the
rare
new
glimpse
Dooms.
of an Elder Scrolls replica. There's only one of two in the
Oh,
world.
wow.
If you're feeling brave enough, you can even grab a photo with Athelia herself.
World of Warcraft, the war within, takes on new meaning when you strap yourself into one of these ultra-immersive devices.
That's
Let me
cool.
tell you,
I like
it's my
that idea.
third ride in a row, and I'm really, really baffled by this experience. So make sure to check this out and check out the expansion.
And of
It's
course,
like when they did the Halo
Gamescom without the Xbox Game Pass
Outpost,
and
whatever it was
PC
called.
Game Pass experience.
They
We're
had
here,
Laser
our
Quest,
attendees
but
can
with
actually win
Halo
themselves
themed
some
props.
prizes by slapping that big green button, which I think I'm going to have a go on while you guys enjoy the rest of the show. Come on.
This is that. No, it's not. Kill Knight. It's not what I thought it was. Oh, it's a Vampire Survivor style thing. Twin stick shooter. Okay. Could be fun to pass the time. I feel like the sort of jump cut distortion on the editing is a bit much when they're trying to show gameplay off as well. That looks better. I do like that these kind of throwback retro-y twin stick stuff is coming back. I think it's edited a bit too quick for me. Coming to Xbox One as well. That
This
seems
year,
like the
the Elder
perfect
Scrolls
cloud game,
Online
though.
celebrates 10 years. I should have brought some sweet rolls. But here to give us the latest from the franchise, please welcome the Elder Scrolls President Matt Firor and Creative Director Rich Lambert himself. Hey, dudes. How you doing?
Great.
Great.
Yeah. Great to be here. It's great to be here in the Xbox booth here at Gamescom.
I'm amazed it's 10 years old.
Strangers to Gamescom in general. So you're aware of the behemoth scale of everything, but I mean, this is something else for the Xbox booth. It's great to have like a whole
I
team
want some
together
new
for
Halo
it,
stuff.
which is awesome.
Just not from
you guys are on the
343
booth
at the
as well,
minute.
which we'll talk about in just a little bit. But what I want to get into is the fact that it is 10 years. That's really special for a game to go for that long. And you guys thought, well, let's make a big deal out of it. Let's celebrate. So how are we doing?
It's quite an
that
achievement.
in-game?
Yeah, well, you know, it's
Maybe
been
not as much
10
for an
years since we
MMO,
launched,
but
it's been like 18 years since we founded the studio. So we've been working on
It'd be
this game
like
a long
a
time.
continuous
And
game.
Rich and I were
It's
both here
really
at the
impressive.
very beginning. So, but yeah, we're celebrating.
I think they had a ropey
obviously
launch,
we're
though,
here
didn't
at
they?
Gamescom.
And it used to
we've
be
done
a
some great community
subscription
events
service
outside
thing
the
before it
game. We
went
had a
free to
huge
play.
one in Amsterdam that you were at.
It was a lot of fun, I got to say.
Oh yes, well over 1,000 people. Just a couple weeks ago, we had another big one in Germany.
Yeah, the tavern.
The tavern, also huge with live music and just a huge multi-day
Oh, wow.
festival. And then we've done other stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, it's countless, right? We've got new things planned, you know, in the future. You know, we're going to be at TwitchCon, and then also we've got an Australia event coming up too. So.
Yeah, and inside the game, you know, we've had just back-to-back events, just celebrating 10 years. So we're giving lots of free stuff away to players in the game.
Good.
And it's all
That's what you should be
a
doing
lot
after
themed
10 years.
around different chapters that we've had over the years and different characters and everything. So it's just we're really trying to do, you know, pull out all the stops and have a great inside the game experience, but then also bring it out to the fans out in the real world.
Well, let's talk about that outside of the game perspective, because you do have pretty substantial little segment
really cool,
over there. Why did it feel right to make sure that you guys were here at Gamescom?
Well, you know, Germany is a huge player base for us. I think it's the second biggest after the United States. So we've been coming over here for many years. I mean, it's I think 2013
It's
before
mad
launch
that
was
every
our
time you
first
see
year
these
here at
booths, it's
Gamescom,
people playing keyboard and
we've had
mouse,
community
and my
events
brain
here
just goes,
longer than we've had community events in
how can you
America.
do that?
Seriously, so Germany
Give me
is
a controller.
and Europe
I'm a-
as a whole
I'm a
is
simple
very
man
very important
with a simple
you know,
brain.
in our hearts and to the success of the game, and we like to come out and thank them in game. But yeah, we got a huge presence in the booth.
it's unbelievable. Like, there's people lined up all around. You know, we've got some cosplayers here. It's just this really amazing feel and vibe. And then, of course, we get to meet
everything
the
I see at Gamescom makes me think, wow, I want to go.
Said, you know, we've been here at the tavern since 2013, and I remember, you know, it started really small and it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, and there's people that come every year that we get to see and just see how they're doing.
And it just feels great to see people being jumping so deep into it as well, and it's a huge part of their lives. This is how they've met some of their best friends, that, you know, they've spent countless hours in the game just experiencing the incredible
gaming
tales that you've
it's a massive social event now.
It's a really nice way to connect and meet genuine friends.
It has been for years.
And it's important here that we've been talking about this for a few minutes now, and we're talking about the community, because the community is the game in many ways. For a game to last for 10 years at this level of success, right? It's more about the people that play the game at this point than the people that make it. So we never forget that. We very much appreciate it. And we always know when we do have community events and like hands-on and things here at Gamescom, players like to come here to meet each other more than even to meet us. Like their best friends are in the game sometimes, and just to meet them in the real world.
It does look a little bit like Dragon Age Origins, though, doesn't it?
Thing, right?
Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So 10 years, you've not just been like sitting around letting people enjoy the game. You've been working hard. There have been new content updates. You've had a new chapter released this same year as well. Do you want to talk a bit about Gold Road and what's there for players to experience with that?
Yeah, Gold Road is the continuation of the story that we started last year with Necron. So it's this story about a new Daedric prince who's been long forgotten.
Are we going to get a cool new trailer?
She looks different, she acts different than everybody else.
Because I haven't seen
it's
a
bit of a
Gold
nostalgia
Road
trip
cinematic trailer, and they're always
West
gorgeous.
Wheel, which was also in Oblivion, Test for Oblivion. So yeah, it's just been really cool to be able to do that, and then add new systems as well. We added the scribing system, which allows players to essentially build their own abilities. And really kind of mix and match, you know, those abilities with their builds, and then, you know, just change the colors and whatnot to really match their role play.
Yeah, because that's such an important part for your players. It's not just about being able to get the DPS meter up. It's so much more than that, right?
Yeah, you know, it's like I joke with Rich a lot. You know, we're talking about scribing, but you know, we have a roguelike game. Infinite Archives inside our game, right? We have so many different things you can do in ESO, and in fact, years ago, I think 3 or 4 years ago, we started calling it a virtual world, like a fantasy virtual world, because that's really what it is. It's much more than a game at this point. You can log in and
that's fair.
Play a card game. Now you can decorate your house and share it with others, and you know, antiquity system and PvP, and right, so there's just so much to do in this game that you can really play all week and do different things every day.
You guys were Metaverse before we even were thinking about Metaverse. I mean, you had them beat. Speaking of housing, you do have a current update available for PC players with the update 43. Console players are going to be able to get hands-on with that pretty soon, but give us a brief overview of what they can expect.
That's probably the next big step, is it then?
The big new
getting
system
your
is home
updates out for PC and console
players
combined,
to share their creations with other players,
which is a lot more work,
I guess. Our housing
but
system is incredible. It's super deep. It is free form, so there's no hook points. There's nothing along those lines. Whatever players can dream up, they can build. They can put chairs on the ceilings. They can cobble together a bunch of things to create new assets. And they do, and they make these really cool creations. And now Home Tours allows them to share that with other people. And those people can go in and view these homes and like them, and like it's really going to open the doors for us.
It's much more of a community focus.
So to speak.
Interesting.
But
that's good. I didn't think about that.
The people watching the stream right now, I think, are seeing some housing in game.
Yeah.
And I just want to reiterate, everything they're seeing is in game in our housing system.
That's
like
the
it
big
could
question.
be created by the players.
Yep.
And in fact, some of the ones they're going to get to soon are actually created by players themselves.
Amazing.
And it's unbelievable what they can do with the tools we've given them.
Well, it's a good thing you never asked me, because mine just always looks like some midlife crisis bachelor's pad. There's
I'm not very good with it either,
there's like monster trophies on the wall, like one chair in the middle of it. It looks really sad, but with this update, I think I'm going to have to try and up my housing chops and make something look good.
Just going through and exploring and seeing what other players are doing is just so inspiring, right? Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's not just the only thing that's getting updated, though, because we mentioned the roguelike part of it as well, Infinite Archives. That's also having a few new flourishes added to it as well, right?
Yeah, so we've added a bunch of new bosses into there, some new monster types. We've added in 2 new arena types, so there's a fire and ice arena in there. We've added new verses and visions, which are the buffs that players earn while they're kind of progressing through. And then, of course, there's tons of new loot, new class sets, and whatnot.
Amazing. Community being at the heart of your game. We know that they can also be vocal too, which is a good thing, because that's passionate. I like it, and that's the way that we can make great games even greater. So there must be some improvements on the way, some feedback you've had lately that you're looking to include in the game pretty soon.
Yeah, we ship updates to ESO every 12 weeks, and we've been doing that since 2015.
Oh wow,
so,
that's a lot of updates.
Every one of those has had a fix, a bug fix, or balance tweaks, or some kind of quality of life fix, based on feedback we've gotten from the community. And you know, we can't get to everything quite as fast as the community would like us to, I am sure. Yeah. But you know, we were responsive, and we would not be here right now if we didn't take the feedback the community gave us and acted on it. And so things like home tours, right? There's a huge segment of ESO now, of the player base, which really does primarily housing. You know, so we gotten some feedback from the other players in the game, like, why are you doing a housing feature?
I see people say housing is end game. Like that is the end goal.
It's fashion and housing, right? Like that's what you hear a lot. And you know, to Matt's point, sometimes they're not big things. Sometimes they're just small things. Like one of the, I think, is a big thing that's coming in is probably one of the smallest things, and it's we now remember the last guild you posted in for the guild stores. So now you can be in 5 guilds in ESO. And what oftentimes would happen is it would reset back to like that first guild that you joined. So you're posting stuff to the guild store in the wrong guild, and so that's just a pain point, and we were finally able to get around to fixing that.
Awesome. I do want to make sure that I give you guys a shout out for possibly one of the most memorable trailers from Showcase, because your 10-year one was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so good. Like we were all watching it, doing.
Did you hear? You always hear housing, like.
And we were like, this is great stuff.
You know, and I think over the years, you know, this is an
Have you got a little
game, right? A lot of the
to
videos we've done are a lot about combat and fighting giant, you know, monsters and huge, you know, demon Daedric princes.
Yeah.
Right. But that video, the We Belong video, is more about the heart of the game, and that's from what the players experience. That's much more what the game is to them than just going on quests. Because of course we have that, but you're doing it with friends, right? You're doing it with people that you meet in the game, and you're starting out, you can't do much, and then you get really powerful, right? That's the heart of the game right there in that video.
I have played it on and off over the last
drops on console. I'll make sure to
6 years, maybe.
Maybe you could tour it.
I have a level 10 character, and I just feel it.
Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Really
I hope you enjoy the rest of your Gamescom. The Elder Scrolls Online Update 43 is launching September 4th, 2024.
There's too much in there for me to get my head around to know where to start.
Anniversary plans and more. Make sure that you do tune into the ESO Gamescom live stream, which is
I have enough stuff to play.
Just over an hour at 6 p.m. CEST, 12 p.m. EDT at twitch.tv/Bethesda. Now for a refreshing change of pace.
They are doing their own showcase, are they?
Genre. That pace is fast, by the way. Here now, enjoy the wildly colourful and furious world of Fragpunk.
Are hero shooters really coming back?
Fragpunk's here to spice them up. We're the 5v5 FPS that lets you bend the rules with cards. Cards can literally do anything. They can beef you up. They can change the weather.
This is an interesting take on it, though, isn't it?
So you can blast people up even more. Or find foes when they try to be sneaky. Crush them with massive force. But
hero shooters.
They've got tricks of their own.
I've steered away from competitive stuff quite hard in the last couple of years. There's so many like just PvE or co-op games or horde stuff that I'd rather play. This does feel like it has its own little thing. The card thing seems...
And if a game is ever too close to call, then be ready to duke it out one-on-one till the last one stands.
Oh, that's cool. That adds a bit of extra pressure. This has a lot more to it than Concord, which has just come out on PS5 and PC. And yeah, apparently Concord's getting a load of flack. I didn't think Concord looked that bad. That has more individuality to it, I think, from what I've seen. Indie's gonna be good. The more I see of indie, the more I like. Are we not going to get any more of Fragpunk? Because it was a named game. I'm looking forward to Call of Duty as well. That what they showed off on Opening Night Live really got me interested. Not multiplayer, I just want to do the single player stuff. Maybe some zombies. I love the art style.
Another prison guard. Good luck, mate. You're gonna need it. There's one escape pod left, but you're not the only geezer bolting after it. There's a lot of wankers between you and the sweet taste of freedom. Just a bunch of psychos gunning for the same prize. A lot like me. Better luck next time, mate. You might make it farther than the last pig I murked.
This is again very Hades-esque, whatever. Is it roguelike?
They ain't exactly dead. Looks like one of you guards finally put some big boy pants on. Brilliant. Cause is just getting started.
Oh, this looks kind of fun. It looks wild.
Ooh, so close. Maybe the next guard will do better.
The genre is I'm not playing that. Fair enough.
Well, Redacted looks absolutely amazing. We're super excited to be officially revealing the game today. It's from the minds behind the Callisto Protocol, and it's a frenetic roguelike with a darkly comic twist. Here to tell us more, please welcome the head of Striking Distance Studios, Steve Papoutsis, and creative director Ben Walker. Guys, welcome to Germany. How are you?
Thank you so much for having us today. It's great
to be here. That's a substantial beard.
I approve. So this isn't the first time that we've actually seen the trailer. We've seen it where it was under the code name Project Birdseye. Can you tell us a little bit about the secrecy and about Redacted now?
Oh, sure. This is what that is,
So when we first started thinking about this project, we started prototyping
or is that still
from the controller out. We were really interested in creating fast, responsive controls that worked for melee and shooting and our energy mechanic. And so as we were developing that, we then talked about the types of games we liked, and we found ourselves playing a lot of roguelikes. What we liked about that particular style of game was the replayability and the experimentation that occurs. So you have strategic and tactical choices. So all of those things kind of came together, and as we were prototyping it, we thought, well, let's see what people think of this. So we released that trailer that you mentioned for Project Birdseye. And that was met with
You are not digging these games, are you, Mike?
So we're here today
just appreciate the,
with you, thank you, to announce the official name of the game, which is
the representation.
It's amazing to see it, and I know we're going to be going through a load of gameplay as well for viewers to be able to check out. But it looks amazing.
So good. I mean, you guys mentioned it there. It sounds like you had a lot of fun.
I like different art styles. I like more individual looking stuff.
From the Callisto
doesn't mean I'm going to spend hours playing it.
And what players might expect from you guys. But as we look at some of the gameplay, can you tell us a bit more about Redacted, and then what can we expect to look forward to?
Sure, absolutely. So again, it's a roguelike style game, and it's focused in a prison. So one of the things that we thought would be really fun was developing the story around what it would be like when a zombie outbreak occurred in a prison. So not only are there workers
love a good
at the
prison escape as
but
well.
there's
Good prison
also
brawl.
inmates. So we thought that was an interesting idea, so we started developing along those lines. And we also included some of those key elements of roguelikes that I mentioned, which are the experiments that we have, which are our upgrades, and the various skills and meta currencies that you can use in-game to really change your play styles as you go through the experience.
You mentioned
I don't know if I'll be able
to
keep up with the speed of
they're
this,
called
but
rivals in the game, aren't
I'm
they?
looking forward to
Can
trying
you
it.
explain to us what rivals are and how that's going to affect the gameplay?
Absolutely. So the idea, again, with the rivals was, hey, you know, there's other people in this prison, so what would they be doing during this outbreak, right? So we thought it would be interesting if there was a race to one escape pod. So not only are you racing against the rivals, but you're also having to deal with them. So they can do things like have room modifier attacks where they can slow you down or impede your progress.
And stuff.
But you can also counter back
part of what I want to do with the TOD Plays Games channel is to showcase new stuff as well as playing the big stuff that I'm really looking forward to.
But then you can
I
also
want to try
square
stuff
off
like
against
this.
them in one-on-one fights.
So I can showcase it to you guys and see what you think, and if you want to try it, you can try it.
So not only do you have the challenge of the various monsters within this game, but
it doesn't
you also
necessarily
have to
mean that's
deal
going to
with these
happen all the
rivals
time,
who are trying to escape.
Yeah, and you can kind of
I
see
like
their
trying
progress
new
along the
things
bottom
and
of the
messing
screen
around
and the
with stuff.
gameplay, can't you?
Yeah.
And like if they're still standing and what's kind of happening to them.
Absolutely, yeah.
Catch up as well. Nice. I mean, going back a
But
little bit,
I get
understand
that
it's
most
a
people
roguelike,
don't have a
when I
YouTube
think of
channel
that,
that they stream on, and
permadeath,
you know that.
But maybe Ben,
my
you could
time
show
with
us
gaming
how
is
that's
probably
gonna
unhealthy.
Be quite a core part of the gameplay in Redacted.
Sure. So this is actually the area where you start when you die and you come back. And on the team, we like to say death is the opportunity to come back stronger.
Nice.
And so, you know, we have our punching bag here.
That's cool.
As you can see, these are all our
I think
terminals.
this is the
where you buy your
first time we've had
permanent
two
upgrades.
people on the
right,
stage
we have all
here
of our currencies. The top one is the
playing
credits,
while
which
they're
is only
interviewed.
expendable and remain used inside the game.
Yep.
And then we have our contraband here, which is for our permanent skills. So I can purchase one of these and then equip it on the side. So you actually build your own kind of loadout here, and I can actually buy more slots as I progress as well. So we have about 45 of these across 5 pages, so there's really a lot to dig into here.
Yeah.
That's a lot of different combinations for you to use. What other meta currencies have you got on the right hand? Because we can see them on the right hand side of the screen. What are they, and how do we what do we spend them on?
Yeah, so over here we have the security IDs, which you purchase suits with. And as you can see, we have lots of suits to choose from.
They look so cool. Have you got a favorite one?
This is one of my favorite
It's a
ones.
nice
the pilot
design.
suit.
It's that comic-y
I'll
style.
purchase it now, and then every suit has an initial buff that it gives you, and then also you can go and increase the upgrades to it.
Oh, that's
as well.
my kind of
And
suit.
so
Speed
clearing
and
30
faster
rooms, I'll get
reloads?
to reload my weapon faster.
Okay, sick.
So there's
You're
a lot
invested
of
in
progression
immersive games
opportunities
with
as well. So
replayability.
you find like your own particular playstyle that you really like. You
That's
can
a
hone
tough-
in and focus on that and be
tough
like, all right,
genre
this
to
is
be
how I want to
waiting
approach
on.
the next round.
Exactly.
I think it's
And
coming
your
back.
skills
I
and
think
your
more
suit and then
single-player
your
games and more
guns
stuff
all
like that
play
is
into
coming.
how that build
But
works out
it's been
for you.
rough for single-player stuff recently.
So what else do we have? What else do we have here?
So
We're
we have 5
moving
melee
away
weapons
from
and 8 range weapons,
the,
and players can mix and match those any way they like. These are some of my
the live
favorites. The dual
service,
blasters.
massive multiplayer,
Nice.
Destiny
And then
style,
once, the
like
player
that stuff
escapes for the
is
first
dying
time,
out.
they'll
I
be
think.
able to unlock the upgrades
So
for the weapons.
hopefully
as
we're going to
well.
get more
So it keeps
single-player stuff.
going and you can
It
keep
looks
going
like the
farther,
next
keep
couple of
getting
years we're
stronger.
going to be blessed
Yeah,
with
what else is there in
with
the
some
in
really
the,
fun
in the hub
stuff.
for players to get
Fingers
involved
crossed.
with?
So this is where we can
'Cause that's
transfer
the kind of thing I
currency
love as
and
well. I
also
like an
buy
immersive
things
world.
like the first aid station in between levels, which is very, very important. So here, let me purchase the environment control. So as Steve was talking about, this is how you attack
sometimes you
rivals
got to change it up a
remotely.
little bit, you
So
know?
you purchase the upgrades here.
I've been playing a lot of, well, as you know,
Yeah, 'cause
Mike,
we
we've
saw
been playing
this
a lot of
happen a couple
fantasy
times
stuff
in
and
the
third-person
gameplay that we
stuff, and
saw a
I'm
little bit
really
earlier,
out of
didn't we?
practice with
Exactly,
first-person
and this will
shooters.
slow them down, it'll
So I'm
stop
looking
them, it'll
forward
do
to
damage.
downloading one of them and having a go at one
And
of them
once you buy
sometime
all of
soon.
them, you get the next tier of it. So you just keep upgrading and upgrading.
Okay, sick. There's on the screen there was something about a combo with the rival attacks. What was that about there?
Yeah, so when you actually do your rival attack, you select the rival, and then you have to you have a limited time to kind of punch in this code. So there's a little bit of a rhythm to it.
Yeah, rhythm game, love that.
Yep.
Okay, sick. That's so cool.
And then the final two we've got are the redaction map and the performance review
Performance
center.
review
What are those?
Yeah, so the performance review is a summary of your run. So here you can see what experiments
That's
you
kinda
used,
cool.
how many meta currency elements that you collected, the schematics and the fabrications. So this is a good way to kind of strategize as you go through, see what you did before and see what you might try to do next time. In addition to that, we have the Watcher log, which actually provides a lot of deep statistics for you. It's fun to kind of min-max and see how you did against the various rivals, which experiments you tend to gravitate towards, and you can see that all here. So it's fun to kind of dig into the statistical element of the game.
It's also where I can see people getting so competitive. That's like going like, no, I can get a faster time than you. I can do better with this setup, and see like all that kind of comparison. Like I know, like us at the Xbox On team would do that an absolute ton on stream.
How many Stumbaton skills have you got or something?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it sounds like your performance review is post-death.
Yeah, so
post-mortem.
This ties into kind of the mystery of our game. So
you're already
going to
dead.
find out about the rivals. As you go through the game, you're actually going to find these computer rooms. And when you interact with the computer room, you're going to see these dossiers. And as you go through and unredact the information here, you'll actually be gaining positive buffs for yourself. So you're going to be increasing the damage you do against the enemies.
Prison
you're going to be
dating pool. Why does every game have dating
for them? And so you'll also be doing all that. And in addition to that, you're going to find out more about the rivals and a little bit of their backstory. So it's a key component to really being able to deal with and handle the rivals.
No, that's awesome. What I do know is we've got a lot more gameplay to check out, because it'd be amazing to see all these different like weapons and upgrades in action, so you can talk us through it.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Let's check out some more gameplay. But honestly, one of the things I love so much about games is when there are so many options for you as a player, and that's what Redacted has for you to progress and improve. So Bex, what do you think as well?
It does kind of feel like
really
Vampire Survivors,
kind of like secret element
sci-fi
to the
vibe.
dossiers and these rivals, and I really like some of these headings that we've got. There's some interesting topics that I'm excited to explore later. Oh, who's this guy?
All right.
Got a little outline here.
Yeah, so this is a mysterious figure that we call Mr. Green.
Mr. Green.
He's a bit of a cleaner, and he's at the prison. We don't know why. Hopefully players are going to find out. But he'll be interacting with you and kind of providing you some insights as you progress through the experience.
Okay.
And so, I don't want to give away too much.
To the developers.
Mr. Green is a shadowy figure.
Okay.
Seems seeing the games and having them talk about the games, but some of these questions and these interviews and the people doing them are just,
people that you've told us
it's a bit naff, isn't it?
I'm not too convinced.
Is that a bit harsh?
You can never trust the shadowy figure. That to me is just like, especially one in a prison, that just doesn't seem to work. But because there's so many options of how to play the game, can you kind of run us through some of your favorite builds? I think this is us going up against one of your rivals right now, isn't it?
Yep, absolutely. Like Steve mentioned, we call our upgrade trees experiments.
Yeah.
And so we have a total of 115 of those in the game, split up against across 7 categories. A couple of my favorites are the biotech, and mixing that with the electricity or the energy build. Speeds up rates of fire, and then biotech has a great skill called Rot, which enables enemies to explode on death.
Nice.
So you can see we're using it
Explode
right here.
on death is always a nice skill.
Oh, cool. I love an area of effect. That's always helpful.
Yeah, there's also like constant combination of using melee and ranged attacks, isn't there, throughout the gameplay?
There is, and since you don't get to choose which upgrades you get to pick every time, you'll find yourself exploring and finding new ones that you weren't expecting that turn out to be really fun. And so we've had a lot of people start to play different ways just because they stumbled on a really fun build.
Yeah, it's always going to be one of the funny bits. It's like, you're going to go, no, I'm going to go use these guns because this is what I want to use. I love them. And then you'll be like, wait, no, that's like the most powerful melee weapon in the game. I'm just going to go melee build or something like that.
Yeah.
I like it. So Ben, yeah, you're much more of a corrosive kind of area of effect and rapid fire build. I like that. That's
absolutely
cool. I'd probably go for something like that over like a strength build or like close combat kind of build or whatever. What do you think you would do?
See, I've always been, right,
I think this
like,
looks
keep
good.
a distance, like,
Yeah.
I played as, like, I was always like an assault rifle player and like FPSs. I was like, kind of keep a distance, kind of like kite people. But one thing I want to point out here is there is a glowing corpse which you see
replayability there is in it.
They pop up in certain locations. Can you tell us
really
a
depends
little
on
bit more
unlocks
about
and things,
that?
I guess.
Yeah,
but
so that's actually your last corpse.
Definitely something that I'm looking to try.
Exactly where you died on your last run. And he has the exact same build.
I should really be writing this stuff down.
So at the end, once combat's over, you can choose to fight him and get back one of your skills, but at an increased power level. So, but it's always risky, right? Because if you had a really good
It was
build
October,
before,
right? Coming out in October?
It might be a hard fight to get to win. So you got to
October's looking pretty busy though.
But it is a way for you to get something back that you had on your last run that you really liked.
Yeah.
No, I can just imagine though. Bex is never going to see the glowing
Back end of
corpse.
October's busy.
I know.
That's like the nicest thing you've ever said to me. Oh, what do you mean? Penny. I mean, yeah, the glowing corpse sounds great. I love that element of, it's almost like Soulsy. You get that reward for going back to the same place, and especially in roguelike atmosphere. I love that as well. I mean, we're seeing so many
It's the design, like, we see a lot of games like this that have the 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit vibe. This is more cartoony, and I appreciate that more than
style that we
the bit
can
style.
enjoy as well. Their eyeballs, which is great. But
this is the kind of comic book art style that I appreciate, and I'm not a big comic fan.
Protocol too.
I don't know much about
we
comics
wanted
at
to
all.
create something that was different.
It's like the 80s
and lean into things that we really enjoy.
design
so
style.
we're big fans
really
of
cool.
comic books, graphic novels, and we also wanted to have more of an irreverent, fun tone to this game. So we gravitated towards the style and look that you see in the game. It's a little bit more vibrant, colorful.
Gorgeous.
And it allowed us to really experiment and play around with a variety of
which
enemies.
is cool,
I think we have over 34 enemies in the game. So we really wanted to just kind of go all out with the colors.
We have
and everything.
127
so that really
combinations
well for
and
us.
34
we think
enemies.
it definitely looks different than the previous game. And the other thing that we really liked about this particular game this time was we partnered with a group called Mutato Musica.
Okay.
And we wanted to create our own unique music for the game. So we came up with this idea for future punk. So the soundtrack is kind of got this arcadey punk kind of vibe going on. And we really enjoy it. So we're pretty excited about that.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, no, Future Punk is definitely something I think I could get into as well. And I love the art style.
Can we hear some of it?
Ben and Steve, like, big thank you for joining as well. But if you've got any last words for everyone watching about Redacted?
Well, we hope everyone enjoys playing it as much as we enjoyed making it. The team had a great time doing that.
Yeah, and I'd like to say thank you very much for allowing us to reveal the game name today with you. And I want to thank the team at Striking Distance for all the wonderful work they did for this project. Thank you.
Heck yeah. I mean, yeah, thank you for letting us be included in this honor as well. We'll definitely be watching out for more Redacted. I cannot wait to get my hands on it when it comes out on October 31st. Very scary. Pre-orders are open right now. So coming up, we've got a sim that is unlike any other sim we've seen before. But first, fans of the first Descendant have been not so patiently waiting for more on
first
season
Descendant.
1.
Okay.
Well, guys,
I don't know anything about this.
Let's
I'm interested.
We managed to fend off our enemy's large-scale attack, but the war is far from over. The Colossus still threatens us, and our enemies are plotting new strategies. Can Ingress ever find true peace? Has Corel really given up on the war? After Corel's fleet disappeared, the Vulgus began moving from deep within the dungeon to raid the Ancestors' facilities in Ingress and reclaim the outpost. Detecting this, Ingress immediately dispatched a scout. That scout's name is Haley.
Haley Scott,
who rose from a supply soldier in the guerrilla unit to a legendary sniper, is now a newcomer in the Descendant Corps. Ruthlessly eliminating enemies with her anti-material sniper rifle, she dominates battles with her ability to drop her body temperature and emit cold air when her emotions run high. When shooting from a distance,
I know it's not gameplay, it's CGI, but the CGIs look
making
really
her
good.
Fit for sniper rifles. She possesses sub-zero bullets that fire multiple shots in an instant, and a storm snare that pushes back and rapidly cools down enemies in front. Above all, Haley's specialty is switching to her anti-material sniper rifle and firing a single, incredibly powerful shot, stronger than any other attack. In Season 1, the Vulgus launches a new strategy, the Invasion.
It's very Destiny,
Invasions
isn't it?
occur
That's
randomly
the
in
vibe
2
here.
dungeons of the hard difficulty infiltration operations. Players can
it's free
choose
to
to enter
play. I
between
might
the
have to
existing
try this. I don't know if it's a
operations
stream
or the
game.
invasions. Invasion dungeons are only available
I
for
haven't got any
solo play.
sci-fi stuff going on at the
Testing
minute.
strength
Mind you, we've
of
got
the
Star Wars
Descendants,
next week, so what
3
am I
Vulgus
talking about?
legions will block the Descendants with different defense mechanisms. The quantum field creates an immortal state, impervious to physical attacks. The Resonance Shatterers cause massive explosions with the energies of RK and the Iron Heart. The Keeper Tile encryption device maintains a powerful
It is a
security
looter shooter,
system.
isn't it? That's
Invasion
what this
dungeons
is.
present new mechanics that disrupt the Descendants' operations. Solve these enemies' mechanisms and swiftly eliminate them. Invasion dungeons are designed for speed runs, and the faster you clear them, the greater the rewards
music's
that
pretty
await.
good.
After coming in contact with the Iron Heart, Descendants experience an arcade resonance phenomenon. This resonance grants the Descendants new powers. It's the season growth inversion reinforcement. Inversion reinforcement is a new growth system that resets at the start of each season. It includes 5 types: hunting, attributes, recovery, survival, and seasons. Through the inversion reinforcement, Descendants gain beneficial effects for progressing through seasonal content, and can also obtain effects that compensate for their weakness. Each season, we plan to tailor and replace the inversion reinforcement effects, providing effects that perfectly fit the seasonal content.
Destiny season passes.
In addition to a new Descendant, a new Ultimate Descendant will be introduced in Season 1. Ultimate Freyna,
it's very anime though, isn't it?
Arcade's toxicity into a more powerful weapon, will make her debut. In Season 1, you can discover Freyna's exclusive story and uncover the tale behind the name of her skill, Room Zero Trauma. Excava is an assault rifle with powerful versatility. It can be obtained through the Battle Pass and is also available as a free reward. Excava charges voltage when attacking enemies and has a unique effect of firing the charged voltage as an energy grenade. It is a versatile weapon that combines the inherent versatility of an assault rifle with a powerful shot. Frost Watcher is a scout rifle that can be farmed through the Season 1 content.
It's good that they say, all right, you can get it in your
long
Battle
range,
Pass, but you can also get it free.
And enhances the damage of one's chill skills, making it a perfect fit
so
for
it's
Viessa
built
and
for
Halo.
her.
If you've prepared a new Descendant, ultimate weapon, and inversion growth, it is now time to face the most powerful Colossus, Deathstalker. Deathstalker lurks in the darkness of the void, targeting the life of Descendants. It is stronger than any Colossus encountered so far. To protect Albion from the threat of Deathstalker, we must once again venture into the void, unravel the mysteries within the darkness, and intercept Deathstalker. The first Descendants first season begins on August 29th with Haley, a new Descendant, Ultimate Freyna, and the new Ultimate Weapons. New episodes, dungeon content, and void intercept battles await you in Albion, Descendants.
Alright, it's Season 1.
Season 1 Invasion. Play for free.
But it looks like there's actually more going on there than in Destiny. Because the Destiny seasons got really boring really quick.
It's a crazy, crazy
I might have a look at that, I don't know.
But no matter what you do to make your dreams come true, the choice is up to you.
Oh, is this the dating game thing? Why did that guy turn into out of a vacuum cleaner? That's weird. Why is it not cartoony?
This is my scooter, Il Ragazzo Pazzo.
You know the gentleman goes around cleaning the house with his vacuum hose.
Name's Hoover. My friends just call me Hoov, though.
Besides, we both know you're cheating on me, so it's only fair.
I wish I was cheating on you.
Well, chat, this is definitely not going to be something I play. Wow. I mean, look, if you're into this stuff, go get it. You found your new favorite game of all time? Date everything. Have you ever wanted to date your kitchen cupboard? Well, now you can. Oh, it's a Team 17. Yeah, that makes sense, actually.
As developers of the relationship testing epic that is the Overcooked series, if you know, you know, it seems fitting that they would take on a dating sim in a rather unusual way. Here to tell us more about the quirky home furnishing
hey, we're going to learn more about
fever dream, this is
Date Every Kitchen
from
Appliance.
Sassy Chat Games. Please join me in welcoming co-creative lead and executive producer Robbie Draymond, writer, producer Amanda Hubbard, and lead writer and designer Ray Chase, all the way over there. Hi, Ray. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining me.
how are you all doing? Are you having a great Gamescom?
Wait, hold on.
Really, the best Gamescom. And, you know, just so you and everybody at home knows, I know my name said Amanda, but I'm actually Tiago today. I'm sporting our lead programmer's jacket because someone stole my jacket out of my mailbox. So if you're watching this, if you could please bring my jacket back to me.
That is Robbie from Critical Role, isn't it?
Wonderful. So all good, maybe aside from Tiago and the missing jumper.
Poor Tiago.
There we go. Now, I most likely confused people in the intro of what exactly I was talking about with the game. So for those who don't know the premise of Date Everything, tell us more. What exactly does that mean?
Sure, this is an absolutely bizarre game that has never been made before. You start out, it's almost a first-person shooter, as it were. You get a job as a customer service agent doing some remote work. You are immediately on your first day replaced by AI, but there's nothing to fear because your entire existence will be changed when a mysterious package comes to your front door, which holds these glasses called the Date Viators, which allow you to directly acknowledge a thing's existence or date everything in front of you.
Because that's the first thing I would want to do if I put special glasses on. Is like, who do I want to date?
Exactly. It's very intuitive.
Absolutely, yeah. I feel like you've made the game of my dreams.
These guys are more fun. These guys are enjoying the interview.
Ray basically just nailed that.
Ray's our lead designer, hit the nail on the head. Yeah, sure, yeah. It's perfect.
It is Robbie, yeah.
But the idea just came from a random day when Robbie and I were joking around.
Well, I like our game. The idea is a joke at the beginning, but underneath there's so much more. And yeah, we just pitched it out during a
he's the lead
session
on it as well. Wow.
And then a couple days later, Ray came to me and says,
wow,
I think I want to make
doing
this
all sorts of stuff. What a talented guy.
And the next thing we knew, we were filling out contracts to start a video game company, and here we are 6 years later. It's wild.
Wonderful. Okay, well, we can't talk about a dating simulator without asking what we're dating. You see where I'm going here. So tell me a little bit more about who it is we're going to be interacting with.
Because he's part of Critical Role, do we think that Laura Bailey's in this?
It's the name of the game. It's literally
Finish the segment. That's the game.
Thanks so much, everybody. Really appreciate it.
I guess there's something for everyone.
We put the trailer out in the world a couple of weeks ago, and one of the most fun parts is like going to the comments and seeing like the people guessing who is going to be out there, and almost always would go, yeah, you can date. It's the name
I've always wanted to date my favorite hat.
I think we all have our favorites too. Definitely, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, do you want to talk about your favorites now?
Sure. Yeah.
Do each of you have anyone in mind?
Oh, so many.
I
Too
looked
many.
out of the bag on Twitter a couple of weeks ago when we got to reveal Ben Starr as Dorian the Door. Massive fan of his work.
Was
and what an
he
interesting
Final
character.
Fantasy 16?
This is a character. In this game, you can get love endings, friend endings, or hate endings with every one of the characters. And Dorian stands up for those who are looking to just be friends. For that playthrough that's a middle of the road, not really looking to date everyone, and he's an absolute champion of friendship more than anything.
We should say that for the people that don't know, because it's not directly revealed in the announcement, is that every character has 3 different relationship statuses that you can get an ending with.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is date everything, but you can also befriend everything, and you might just
you know what? If this is on Game Pass, we'll try it.
Everything is my kind of game.
Maybe there's a way to play it as hate everything. We'd be remiss if we didn't do it.
Oh, I love it.
What's considered a good dating ending when dating your refrigerator? I mean, not getting the cold shoulder, right?
I'd have to go with, I think, VOD Trap. Hilarious character, and probably one of my favorite sessions that we did. It's so funny. You can't go through Von Trapp's story without laughing, crying, sobbing. It's so good.
We had an amazing writing team of about 30 individuals, and they all put their unique perspective on it. And then the voice actors came in
and added another layer, right?
And when you're talking about a character like Von Trapp, which is Dana Snyder, who you might know from Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Master Shake, a ton of other comedic stuff, he just kind of went wild. And Tiago, our poor programmer, had to deal with all the changes.
The real Tiago.
Okay, of course.
Yeah. And it is such it's a great character. My favorite is kind of our mascot, Skylar Specs. She's plays the actual Date Viators themselves, and though they're a mechanics character that sort of show you how to play the game, the writing is she's so lovely, so fun, so
the writing is so good.
Please,
the writing.
Well, okay,
falling in love with me, I guess.
That has been the nature of our friendship for the last 10 years, pretty much. I can't resist a good beard. But then we brought in a nerd icon Felicia Day to come in and play Skylar, and she brought this whole new level of charm to it. So yeah, we've all got our favorites, but I think those are our top 3.
I love it.
We might change this. Someone asks us next week.
Don't worry about it. Every single day, I feel like every playthrough you'd find a new reason to love someone else.
All my children, I can't actually pick.
There you go. I'm sorry I made you do so. I do want to stay on the topic of voice actors, though, because obviously yourself, you've
With
done
this guy,
quite a
John
lot
Critical
of work
Role.
here at the
He was
table.
in.
So what's it like
Was he
moving
at the
from
start
performance to
I've
development
only seen like
on a title and being
the first 10
behind the scenes a little
streams
bit
of
more?
season 3, but he's in season 3.
We were unprepared for the amount of work that is to make video games. One of those things that looks like
I'm
so
not
much fun
far
on the
into
outside,
it.
and yes,
I should
obviously
really go
we had
back
a
to it,
blast, but way more spreadsheets than you ever thought possible. But
season
we've
2
all learned a
Critical
ton
Role
of
was the
lessons.
one
We've
for me.
all
The Mighty
upped
Nine was
the amount of
peak
hats that we
Critical
wear
Role.
making
I
this
adored
game,
that.
and it's something that's absolutely the high point of my life. I'm so proud of our team and where this game has come from the original inception to actually being able to make 100 characters that all are different, that all have different playthroughs and styles, that you can really
IMDb.
play this game for a really long time. I can't believe that we actually achieved that.
Yeah, as actors, we're in a really unique position because what we do is very forward-facing, but it's very low man on the totem pole when it comes to actually being the creative force driving whatever you're making. So for us to come together and be able to make something of our own and then put it out into the world, not only is one of the most rewarding experiences, it's also terrifying. But that part of it was over. We gave the world the conceit, the idea, and from what we can tell, they said yes. So we're so excited for everybody out there, you all, to play it. It's the best.
Do you think it's maybe change your perspective the next time you go to voice something that's someone else's game of like, I suddenly understand everything that went into this one, actually?
It already has. I think the very first session that I got into post being like halfway through production in this.
Oh no, yeah, Laura Bailey's in it.
My outlook on the entire script was completely different. And if I do say so myself, I think the session went even more smoothly.
I'm going to be more judgy now.
I learned also how hard it is to schedule
Fragpunk, I know that name.
So I will make myself more available to everyone.
Actually, I want to mention the actors a little bit because we've already heard a couple. Felicia and Ben, I'm on first name basis here, clearly. There's a humongous roster. Are you just going into little black books and just messages like, hey, do you want to just come do a voice? Like, what was that process like?
For us, diversity has been a key part of this, not just in the stories that we're told in the appearance of the and the background of our characters, but also in like the level and the background of our actors too.
We have a lot of
AAA names, household names that everybody knows. We have a lot of up-and-comers that we really like and wanted to give them a broader stage. We have non-traditional actors who are coming in and doing roles. We got to run the gamut on our casting.
We have film and television actors. We've got video game staples. We've got people who did we've got Broadway actors who did one of my good buddies did his first ever video game ever.
I bet that's a fantastic performance as well for Broadway.
He might sing a little bit.
That'd be a big one.
Yes.
But there was a lot of texting. It was literally like, hey, would you come be a chair?
Are you free on Thursday?
But the funny part is word got around. We recorded for about 5 months, about 180 sessions or so. There's 70,000 fully voiced lines in this game, 1.2 million words. It's a monster. Wow. But word started to get around that the sessions were fun. And then it went from less of a, will you please be a chair, to be like, can I be a lamp?
I'll be a carpet. Just let me in.
A coffin?
A carpet.
I thought you said a coffin.
No,
that's the mortuary DLC.
Spooky DLC.
Halloween update.
Yeah.
I'll do that one.
These guys are very good.
Yeah, wonderful. Right, we're going to go down the bench here.
Okay.
I want to know who you are.
It's not a kind of game that I want to play, but I'm already invested. I want it to do well.
You're in it. You're all over it.
Just so you know, this is an Xbox exclusive then, right? Because we have not revealed who we play in the game.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go first. I actually play 5 roles in one. I played the Hanks. Okay. And the Hanks are all of the hangers in your closet. Yep. And they're like just 5 adventure sports loving dudes, but they're all me just doing a slightly different voice. So if you love me, you're going to love this. If you hate me, it's going to be painful. But I love the Hanks. They are just...
Oh, no.
Do you really think this game is going to... He's going to be... Mind you, with a cast like that, you never know.
But the Hanks we had somebody play through it today, and they had such a blast. I love them. I hope you guys love them, too. Yeah. Who are you?
Me? I play Rebel, the rubber ducky. Rebel is very edgy, has a bad attitude, doesn't want to hang out with anybody. Really don't understand why you keep talking to me. But secretly, underneath, Rebel might have a little bit more part than that. Maybe, probably not.
But definitely can't reveal that.
You got to work to get there, though, for sure.
You really have to put in some effort.
Although already Rebel is winning the fan art contest.
Do you want to date your rubber ducky?
Yeah,
it's a popular character design.
There has been already dozens of images of Rebel populating the internet in the best, most fantastic way. I was not expecting that.
Wow.
I'm so glad people
that
love
sounds
them.
All right, illustrious leader, who do you
very
play?
I play one of my favorite
concerning.
characters. I wrote his theme song. I got to voice him. I wrote all the things he said. He is the Scandelabra, one of the first characters that we came up with in this. He's like an 18th century courtier. And while everybody else loves the fact that you're going around and being very polyamorous and doing it, for him it's all scandal. And he keeps track of all the love endings that you have and berates you for it. But in the end, maybe he loves it on the inside.
I have to ask, actually, specifically on that, with the names being pun-based, as a Brit, I adore that. What comes first? Do you come up with a Scandelabra or a scandal, and then you try to fit that into an object?
We've had this question before.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
some are non-negotiable. Every house has a table or chair. That we knew.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the pun comes along with the casting too. So our friend Jeremy Lee, who's one of the best voice actresses ever, we're like, well, we have to make her the chair, right? And call him Jeremy. So sometimes it's a different formula, but
it's unpredictable. Yeah, sometimes the name comes first and the concept comes with it. Sometimes we have something where we're like, well, we have a floor. What do we do with this character? And we start to work on it. What might it be? All these characters were developed at different times. Some faster than others. Some had different rewrites and stuff. But we didn't want them all to just be rhyming name, even though it might seem like
Yeah, no, fair enough. No, I love it. I do want to come back a little bit, Amanda, to your character, because in the B-roll that we got playing here, there's something that pops up every time we talk about, which is this content aware that Skylar talks about.
I mean, this is taking inclusion and diversity to a whole other level, isn't it?
Fall in love with it.
Our game in general isn't overly salacious, nor is it anything negative in that way. It's body.
You can tell that these guys are
actors,
voice actors. They like performing.
We do
bring
have
high
characters
energy.
That we wrote. There's 100 different ones, and it's not all jokes and funny stuff.
Of course,
we really like to dip into some serious stuff. I mean, that's the idea of the concept, right? And then we deliver something more earnest. And some of the characters Ray figured out we have to talk about.
We had a unique opportunity here because it's a sandbox. You can make
it's
them in
these
any
guys
order.
that sold the
so
game
it meant
for
that,
me.
like,
It
some
just
of our
sounds like fun.
characters, Rebel, for example, who is quite vulgar, let's just say. Skylar says, I've never seen my content aware go off like this. But you have the opportunity to have this content aware feature on, and anything that might be triggering, Skylar is able to call you out, say what it is this something you're comfortable with, and if not, there's no judgment from us as developers. You can skip that character at absolutely no expense to your playthrough. You still get any ending that you want with them, and you can take out that triggering content. And if you're open for everything, you can turn off content aware right at the beginning, and it never comes up.
Yeah, it's a really a small percentage of when that content aware pops up. But if you see it the first time and you don't want to deal with it, gone forever, and then you can turn it back on whenever you'd like.
Exactly, yeah.
Amazing. Wonderful. Thank you so much for telling us about that. I love it.
Thanks for asking. Yeah.
You're so welcome.
We want people to have the best possible experience with this. And we always say this is a game, even though it's a dating sim, it's never a game that you would be embarrassed to have someone walk in on you playing.
Yes.
You know?
While you're chirping up the candelabra.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You're like, oh God, don't look.
Yeah, of course.
So with it being a dating simulator, and you said there's 100 characters in there, are there any pre-existing relationships in the house? Are the players going to meet other complications along the way?
Ooh, yeah, quite a bit. I mean, all of these characters, when the game starts, they have a rich pre-existing life that the player then kind of gets to pull apart and unfold. Some of them interact a little bit more, some are maybe a little bit more siloed, but that's all stuff that the player gets to discover as they go through.
Yeah, I mean, we have two characters that debuted in the trailer, Harper and Dirk, and when you first encounter them, they're kind of intertwined. They're mixed up, and I won't say how to give away too much, but they're mixed up in not the world's. They have a content-aware warning because their relationship could be viewed as toxic to some, and you have a choice. You can do whatever you want. You can get them back together. You can break them apart depending on what you think is best. You can become friends. You can romance them separately, together. You can get them to hate you. And it's all whatever you feel as a player is the right pathway for you. That's been the best part of Gamescom, is watching people play and getting to see how they react. And we had some people go, oh no, what does this say about me? And we went, oh yes, what does this say about you? That's the point.
Oh, it's like a Rorschach test.
Yeah, wonderful. And I think we'd also be remiss not to mention.
Imagine this came out 20 years ago. I bet it would have been a hit.
The environment itself.
It would have been a closet hit for so many
if there's
people.
anything you can share about the system in the game or the locations.
I don't know if this game gets made 20 years ago.
Oh, absolutely. We have.
Do you want to tell me them all now?
We absolutely. All right, number 78 is. No, we have lots of. We have a house that you're walking in, and there's obviously a design challenge. How do you make this house interesting? The house changes based on what relationships you have with everybody, and there's little secret characters here and there that you might walk past 100 times, then realize through this system that we were talking about backstage, Rumors, which is a way spelled R-O-O-M-E-R-S. Had to get another pun in there.
Absolutely,
But Maggie the Magnifying Glass helps you discover some of these clues to find these more secret characters.
I hope it's voiced by Helen Mirren.
They all exist in different states. Some obviously what you would think the kitchen characters are more connected than others, but you got the secret areas. But we also wanted this is our story delivery system, this house. And we don't want to get too far into it, but it changes and adapts depending on how you play the game. So what you do in the stories will affect the environment. But you're right, we want it to feel homey, we want it to feel cozy. Shout out to my dad, who's a home designer who actually
I was gonna say, where was this going? Just
I know.
shout out to Dad.
I know. Shout out to my dad who designed the home based off a classic like mid-century house. So it feels like a real house that you live in as your player. But how you start your life, that's up to you. Maybe it's not
up to you. Love it. Well, it's also described a little bit more of like a sandbox type game where, as you've said before, Ray, that you can date anyone, anytime, in any order. So I assume that there'll be some surprises along the way for the player. I know you're not going to tell me all the secrets, but is there anything you could tease for everyone at home?
I'm very worried about what this will say about me if I play it, but I think it could be hilarious to play.
There is an overarching story, a critical path that populates based on your progress and has a lot of different endings too. It's not just you date a character, the game ends. We really want you to go through and at least talk to everybody, get an ending with everybody, and get to see the full story of the Dateviators unfold.
Interesting. Well, I cannot thank you enough for stopping by. I'm going to say it out loud, and I'm going to get hated for it, but this is my highlight of the show. Like, truly, it's been a joy talking to you all. I hope you have a phenomenal Gamescom. I'm going to come down and play it myself after this and see who I can start dating.
This has definitely been the best interview
my favorites
so
are.
far.
But one thing is for sure, I will never be looking at a fridge the same way again. Coming up, we're going to take to the skies with the latest map and join new planes to join Microsoft Flight Simulator. Then it's back down to Earth with the latest updates coming to Fallout 76. But now it's time to don the role of Khazan as he survives exile, waves of Imperial forces, and relearns the forgotten skills of battle that once helped him save an empire. Check out this deep dive into the first Berserker, Khazan.
I want this to, like, wow me. I'm on the fence at the minute. I'm interested, but I'm on the fence. I think the art style is really nice.
Once saved the Empire from the Dragonkin, survives against all odds while being exiled under the false accusation of treason. He embarks on an adventure to uncover the truth behind his downfall and seek revenge against his enemies.
Freddie Fritz Jr. Can you imagine?
Khazan's battles emphasizes hardcore action, while they feature various combat mechanics. The core principle is see and respond. We've put significant effort into creating precise and vivid combat experiences based on this concept. Essentially, we designed the game so that the players can observe and decide their actions, providing clear feedback for each decision. Combat moments are primarily divided into two phases: the monster's attack turn and Khazan's attack turn. We aim to make every moment enjoyable. To achieve this, we included various ways to respond to monster attacks. Players can exploit openings to attack or choose to defend, or evade when necessary.
It looks very Dark Souls, but not quite as punishing as Dark Souls,
which requires precise timing, are also available. There is no single correct answer. Players can experiment with multiple methods.
You've got a stamina bar, you've got a health bar.
Your unique combat style will develop based on your choices, ensuring that this process effectively leads to defeating your enemies.
There's obviously gold and then souls at the top. Or essence, or whatever the thing is on the right.
Preemptive strikes are a key strategy for tackling powerful enemies with ease. When initiating a battle with a brutal attack from behind, Khazan can gain numerous attack opportunities, limited only by his stamina. Both Khazan and his enemies have stamina, and once depleted, they become exhausted until it recovers. In this state, significant damage can be inflicted not only on Khazan, but also on his enemies. Therefore, managing stamina is crucial. Good management can create advantageous situations, while poor management can lead to serious danger. In battles against strong enemies, including boss fights, using stamina strategically is particularly crucial. Inducing stamina consumption or successfully landing high stamina damage attacks to cause exhaustion is key.
Wow, okay, so
once
the boss
in an
fights are
exhausted
Dark
state,
Souls.
dealing maximum damage through various methods become the core strategy for overcoming bosses. Additionally, targeting and destroying weak points can inflict significant damage and provide extra attack opportunities.
I don't know, I'm liking this.
Khazan is a skilled warrior who can proficiently wield various weapons, allowing you to experience different combat styles that maximizes each weapon's advantages.
I think a big thing is the art style that's selling me on it.
Khazan is equipped with a spear. Although its attack power is somewhat lower, it features long reach, wide range, and impressive combo attacks, making it particularly advantageous in stamina-based combat. This weapon excels at efficiently draining the enemy's stamina and delivering additional damage to exhausted enemies through various methods and combos.
So his stamina disappeared, and then his stamina was coming back very quickly, but he took a hit and that stopped his stamina regen.
Khazan can wield. It offers the option to charge most actions, favoring slow but exhilarating and powerful strikes. This weapon excels in solid guarding and counterattacks, enabling a satisfying playstyle that can crush enemies before even engaging in stamina battles.
Sale kind of thing for me.
Khazan is an action game that focuses on the fun of character development. As you progress, you'll acquire items and skills, evolving your combat from careful and strategic to powerful and exhilarating. Khazan's journey of revenge is about to begin. Don't miss out on the chance to experience the hardcore action of the first Berserker, Khazan, in the technical closed beta test, starting on October 11th. Xbox players can join through the Insider program.
Oh, wow.
Hey York, it's great to see you. I'm gutted that I'm not seeing you in person, but I hear that you're in Seattle.
Yes, it's like the first time in at least 4 or 5 years that I'm not going to make it to Gamescom in person, which is
that's a lot of flight sims in the background.
I love the show, I love the people, I love the vibe, the gamers. So yeah, but plus we always have a community event where we meet with the hardest core flight sim enthusiasts. But honestly, we're 13 weeks away from the launch of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and you know there's almost so much to do to make sure that everything is perfect that I'm just gonna have to stay home.
Is that an Ori plush in the background?
How are you feeling coming up to launch? Because as you said, it's only 13 weeks away.
Yeah, I think
it's awesome. I mean, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 or MSFS 24, as we now call it, it is the biggest undertaking ever in flight simulation. It's the biggest fleet, the most airports, the most sophisticated flight model, the best physics we've ever done. The digital twin is taking leaps forward. This time we added seasons, worldwide ship traffic, worldwide oil rigs, heliports, glider airports, animals. It's massive. And in MSFS 24, it's the first time that you can exit the aircraft and walk around. So we added tons of detail everywhere on Earth. So it's just huge. And on top of that, we've added an all-new career system where you can pick from dozens of authentic aviation activities in a career, and that adds a completely new dimension to the sim.
Very,
so you
very
can be like
pretty.
a firefighter or a firefighter pilot or a cargo pilot or a crop duster pilot or just a passenger.
Playing on a controller is very daunting, I think.
And on top of that, we added short burst activities like low altitude challenges, landing challenges. Just if you have a little bit of time, you can have fun in Flight Sim.
That is an insane amount of content. I also love the landing challenges. I once somehow managed to get 1 point on them, but you know, the Xbox One team will laugh at me for it. But they are so much fun to do.
I don't know. You might need a couple of keyboards to get it done. Yeah.
But I know you are very keen to share some goodies with the community.
If you're properly playing Flight Sim, you need like the peripheral, don't you? You need the
bring something to the community that has local relevance.
Like the joystick and the throttle and all that stuff.
EDK, which is the Cologne-Bonn airport, and we launched that alongside some European cities.
Oh, it's so pretty though.
And a German plane called the DO-X, big flying boat. The year before, we had City Update 1. Where we actually had
that's a real
the
plane.
City of Cologne and Bonn and Düsseldorf and Dortmund and Hanover, so really local cities. And we had launched the Junkers F-13, the first all-metal airliner.
I think this is the great thing. This is obviously it's Microsoft. They have cloud, they have AI, all that stuff goes into this.
18,
but they are scanning
the DACH region, so Germany,
real-world environments in multiple different ways and putting them into the game.
So we are launching all new aerials.
Forza do something very similar with their cars and their tracks, I think, as well.
And we're actually
stuff like this is getting so real now.
The next simulator in November, but we wanted to give a preview to the community. And then we have all new digital elevation maps. They're called DEM. And on the top of that, we have
photographic gaming wheel,
cities. So these are the 3D cities that are shown in Flight Sim.
There's got to be
we have Frankfurt
some
am Main,
£500 accessory for Flight Sim, hasn't there?
And then we have Berlin, Potsdam, and Karo, so sort of northeast. And then in Austria, we have Linz, Vienna, and Salzburg. And in Switzerland, we have Bern and Zurich. And
best controllers for Flight Sim.
116, which we call POIs, or places of interest, or points of interest, so famous places.
Yeah, there's a joystick and like a throttle.
Missions that showcase sort of the environment and the region.
How much is that?
It's one of the biggest updates we've ever done, and I can't wait to share it with the community.
There's a budget option for $35
for everyone to check out. All right, let's take a look.
Yeah, they're like 200 quid. Wow. I really want to try the Dune. They added the Thropters. But on a controller, like, my brain struggles with stuff like this at the best of times. You give me a controller and tell me to fly a plane, I'm going to be like, yeah. I struggle flying in Battlefield and stuff like that, so... Oh, it's stunning. This is going to be a 200 gig download, isn't it? I mean, this is all Germany, but just the scope. I mean, the skyboxes, and you have the ability to just take off and fly across the world, don't you? I believe it's continuous. So impressive. Quadruple A price. Yeah, it's called Game Pass. Oh, but if there was ever a game that would just you could play forever, it would be one of these, wouldn't it? I think they did in the last Flight Sim. I think they did the Pelican as well, and you were actually flying on a halo ring. Wow. Just makes me want to go on holiday. I've done very little of Europe. I'd love to do more of Europe. Can you, if you can fly helicopters, can you fly Airwolf? If you can fly Airwolf, I'm in. I'm sold. Put the theme tune on. We might have to try it. See if I can take off. It's available now, not the new one.
That actually looked stunning. There's so many amazing places to check out. But I know your team does an incredible job with these world updates, and I hear this one hit close to home for you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I'm so proud that we can basically bring regions of the planets to life with these world updates. And this particular one, I don't know if you know this, but I was actually born in Frankfurt, and I, as a little kid, grew up in Heinstadt, which is near the area. And then my mom comes from Darmstadt. My brother lives in Buchschlag. So when we got the new data, I immediately went into the game and into the sim and looked at it, and I found the house I grew up in, the kindergarten I went to. I was like, and then here's the house my mom grew up in. My brother lives over there. So it's super cool, and it's amazing always when I see how accurate everything is.
Yeah, and I can imagine when you can go walk around as well with the new update. It's like you can really get into that like nitty bitty
Had a couple of flying lessons.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it never ceases to amaze me, and we call that the digital twin. The
I don't know if I trust myself flying.
We have a real one-on-one representation of the entire
But
Earth.
Just being up in the sky and seeing these.
I always say the world is full of sensors.
The aerial view is so beautiful.
Satellites and aircraft, your phones, your cars.
I think you need a hell of a PC
that back into the sim,
to really play something like that, to really power it.
Yeah, and now that we've seen the world,
you need a hell of a graphics
can we
card.
Expect a new aircraft to go with it?
Always, we call those local legends. So when we do a world update, we try to basically highlight important things in the history of aviation relative to that region. So for Germany, we did a few already. We did 2 Junkers and 2 Dorniers. And today, I'm very proud to announce a very special plane from Bremen called the Focke-Wulf 200 Condor. And it was first flown in 1937. And at the time, it was the most sophisticated airliner in the world. And we have a trailer.
Focke-Wulf 200 Condor. Oh, wow. It's the Indiana Jones plane. Isn't it? From Raiders. That startup sound, iconic. Just beautiful. Not just the plane, the scenery, everything. It's such a stunning game. And the attention to detail in something like this is just amazing. Like a small airliner from the 60s. Yeah, it's got that classic vibe to it. Back when flying was special. It's on Game Pass.
That was actually amazing. I have never seen that plane before in my entire life, but can you unpack its significance for it being included?
Surely that's the Indiana Jones plane.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it's not at all surprising because the plane, it came out in 1937 and it was a civilian plane. It made a famous flight from Berlin to New York. That was the goal, to have passengers in one go fly over the Atlantic. At the time, typically people flew in seaplanes and they had to take several stops. So this was the first one. And the reason why it could do that is it was very light for its size. It was only 17 tons and it had they had 4 great engines, lots of tanks, and it flew much higher than everybody else did. So typically planes at the time flew 1,500 meters altitude. This one flew 3,000. So you could go, the air is thinner, less resistant, so you can go much further. So it was a major step forward. However, obviously the war came and then the plane unfortunately just disappeared from the skies. But there's a really interesting story. In 1988, they actually found a wreckage. The plane was considered lost, They found a record
is it just one
time in Norway. They
Maybe
raised
it.
It took 11 years till 1999, and it was not in good shape. Let's put it this way. And then there was a group of volunteers. They call themselves the Condorians, that basically rebuilt the entire plane from scratch, basically based on the pieces they found, and that was completed in 2021. And that plane is now visitable. You can see it in a museum in Berlin. And I had followed that story. I called the museum. They allowed us to do a scan, and then we typically try to give something back, right? When we do these collaborations with museums. So I asked them, is there anything we can do to help you guys? And they said, hey, Jörg, there is a Swiss collector who spent his entire life collecting all the instruments for the Condor, and he had sort of built in his house a dashboard of the Condor.
Wow.
But the man was at a point in his life where he wanted to part with his collection. So Microsoft actually bought the collection from the collector, gave it to the museum in Berlin, and they integrated it into the Condor. So, we call it digital preservation, what we do in Flight Sim, right? And when
that's
we can
a cool
connect that to the
story.
real
That's
world,
cool that Microsoft would do that as well.
Preservation of planes. It's just one of the most awesome things, really, for us.
No, it's amazing that people are going to get to play that in game as well, and it really is art imitating life. But thank you so much for joining us. I know you're really busy, kind of getting the last bits for the update together, but you've got one cool announcement for everyone, don't you?
Yes. So World Update 18, the one we just talked about, is available right now. So the sky is calling. Go check it out in Microsoft Flight Simulator and download it today. And just in case you didn't know, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is releasing on November 19th.
I thought there was a new one.
And that's also going to be available on Xbox Game Pass and Xbox Game Pass for PC. So everyone get their hands on it. But Jörg, thank you so much for joining us. And we'll see you.
I wonder if there's going to be some sort of backwards compatibility with 2024 and then all the stuff that the planes that they've released in the current Flight Sim.
See ya.
This is that little nightmares again, isn't it?
Hi, I'm Coralie Fegnino, producer of Little Nightmares 3. We are very excited to have the game playable at Gamescom this year, but for all of you that can't be here, we wanted to give you a sneak peek at our demo, as well as some exclusive footage.
It's a very pretty looking game.
Little Nightmares 3 tells the story of Flo and Alone, two friends trapped within the spiral, a cluster of disturbing places.
I mean, it's definitely disturbing.
They will have to work together to survive in this dangerous world full of delusions and escape the nowhere. While Little Nightmares 3 is still playable in solo with an AI, you'll also be able to play with a friend in online co-op and face your childhood fears together.
Couch co-op as well? Split screen? No? I suppose that would pull away from the... And you still...
Welcome to the Necropolis.
You could have done couch co-op.
Here for this walkthrough, we have our two characters, Lo with the Raven mask and the blue cape, and Alone with the green jumpsuit and the red pigtails. Each character is equipped with their own iconic item. Alone has a wrench that will have a variety of usages, like for example, activating mechanisms, Lo's iconic item is a bow. It can be used to solve puzzles and make new paths when the road seems blocked. To survive in this dangerous world, teamwork would be essential, as Lo and Alone will have to work together to keep moving forward. During the game, our two friends will find new items to help them progress.
That's cool. It does look super creepy.
Place.
Never played a Little Nightmares game,
and powered by gusting winds, it has been described as a city of eternal energy and certain death. It is a weird place that used to be inhabited by the dwellers. As you can see, the ancient metropolis is now more of a ghost town, and it is unclear what happened to its inhabitants.
It's got that like stop motion-y vibe.
This is Monster Baby, one of the new residents of Little Nightmare Street. She might have something to do with what happened to Necropolis and the people that used to live here.
Monster Baby!
It seems that
you've got ranged in melee, okay.
Living inhabitants left. And to defend themselves against this threat, Lo and Elon had to work together and
Catch you later, mate. Thanks for dropping by. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll be on Dragon Age tonight, if you fancy it. Usual time on the channel.
Night has fallen on Necropolis. It's the
thanks
first
for dropping
time
by. Keep me
that
company
we
in
share this
chat.
part
Enjoy
of
the
the
rest of
game.
your afternoon.
As you can see, the mood in the real city has changed quite a bit.
It's very like is it sinister? I suppose it is sinister. Feels tense. Monster Baby.
Oh, apparently Monster Baby doesn't sleep through the night. Not sure we want to become one of her toys. We should probably avoid her gaze and play hide and seek behind the blocks.
I want to see what happens when you get caught. Do you fight your way out, or is it just dead?
It should be safe here. That's it for now. Thank you all for watching this gameplay walkthrough. We can't
It could
wait
be
to show
really
you more about
interesting
the
to
game.
play in co-op. But I don't know much about Little Nightmares, so...
Little Nightmares 3 will be available in 2025 on Xbox Series, Xbox One, and Windows PC. Wishlist the game now to make sure you don't miss any news.
Well,
I suppose they wouldn't mention if it was going to be
Little Nightmares 3,
PS5, but I'd assume it's on PS5 as well. Might be wrong.
So now it's time to go to the vault with Skyline Valley out now and the Milepost Zero update launching very soon. Our next guest has
Just
plenty
Fallout.
to chat about. Here to give us more on the latest from Fallout 76, please welcome Milepost Zero Creative Director.
I'm going to leave you with this for a bit because I'm not interested in this, so I'm just going to nip out, grab another drink.
Oh, great. Thank you for
Keep
having me.
myself hydrated, keep my voice going.
Yeah, let's talk some
Stick
Fallout,
around.
shall we?
I will leave this on.
So first up, a huge part of the Fallout franchise and also Bethesda as a whole is community involvement and the impact that they actually have on yourselves, if that's fair to say. Can you tell me a little bit more about what that impacts your development timeline from the community involvement?
Sure. Yeah, that's a great question. You know, I've said it before. Bethesda Game Studios has the best community in gaming. They're so great at giving feedback, saying what's not working, saying what they'd like to see. So the team always makes sure to stay on top of all that feedback, whether it's on Reddit or Discord or whatnot. And what we do is we kind of boil it down to large strokes, bigger trends, right? And what features can we make to satisfy these things that players want, and how do they fit across a timeline while satisfying our builders and our adventurers alike.
Nice. I mean, you mentioned Reddit just there, and I'm really curious how you actually use those sites or maybe other corners of the internet to actually take the feedback from the community and then put that in the game. What does that look like for you and the team?
Well, I'd like to outline some sort of really cryptic process, but it's really just me on my phone going down the post and remembering, oh yeah, somebody said that. But you know, it's more than just reading the feedback. It's also being able to look at that feedback through the lens of a player. So we all play the game on the team. I, speaking for myself, have multiple high-level characters I've gone through the game with to try different things. Multiple new characters fresh out of the vault to try different things. So looking at that feedback that we get from players through the lens of players ourselves and kind of trusting ourselves to make the right choices for the game.
Nice. Showing off with quite a few high-level characters there. I see you.
And by the way, I made those myself. I wasn't giving them. Thank you.
No, that's very good. We were chatting before about one of your latest characters, your ventures. Care to tell us or share with the viewers about the captain?
Oh yes, the latest character sometimes shows up on the socials, and that's Captain Nuke McCloud.
Nice.
And Captain Nuke McCloud lives up to his name and loves to drop nukes. So we get the community together, and they follow me around while I drop nukes.
We've got Towerborne left as well. I think that's really what I'm holding out for.
Those servers. That's avoid the nukes.
Yep.
What is
we've seen Outlaws, we've seen Warcraft. This is Fallout.
That you see when you
Towerborne,
do take
Fragpunk, we've seen Flight Sim, we've seen 2 Point Hospital, we've seen Redacted, what it's called now.
Seeing the reaction to
Kill Knight, we've seen. First Berserker, we've seen.
It's the type of feedback
Eternal
that we
Strands we haven't seen.
Time, right?
Planet
Because
Coast, it's still
so
quite a bit actually.
A specific thing like I want a neon green wig or something like that. It's looking
there's
at
another 3 games
looking
at it.
To do at the end of the game. I want more challenging experiences. So as those features kind of come out further down the road, we see that positivity from players reflected back at us through comments and feedback.
That's really cool. I mean, yeah, I love some character creator options as well. So maybe a neon green wig would be great, but that can wait as well. We've got plenty to do in Skyline Valley at the moment as well. And
how deep are we going to go in with this one?
The first new map expansion for the base game. Can you tell me what that means to you and the team and to the game itself about having that map expansion?
Absolutely. So I've been referring to it as a map mutation.
Nice.
Kind of keeping it within the vein of Fallout. But what I've come to learn over the years is that players really love to play on the Appalachia map. Appalachia in our game is really kind of the main character, and we were introduced to Appalachia when the game first came out, and it's really changed since then, and all the updates that we've had. So
I wonder what gets more
knowing
players.
that players really like to stay in Appalachia and experience that, we wanted to give them opportunities to continue telling their own stories. So
76 obviously
Skyline
still
Valley
has quite a lot of people, or they wouldn't be supporting it, would they?
More places to adventure, and also using Skyline Valley for a way to further the story of Appalachia itself, telling our own stories for the players to experience. So the idea for Skyline Valley came from Vault 63. It was really mysterious what was going on there. So we were thinking, what should this new region look like? Well, it's about Vault 63, and that's dark and mysterious. So let's make this region dark and mysterious. And so that's kind of where the tone of the new space came from and the thought behind it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the mission, the pre-update mission that you do, and you go to that massive big manor house and like literally just looks like hellfire everywhere around, and it is very much dark and mysterious, but also very fun to explore. What other things in Skyline Valley, what other game features were added with this new update?
This isn't doing anything for me.
Game features added with Skyline. Well, there's a new.
I'm more interested in Elder Scrolls Online, to be honest. At least I've tried
called the Thrasher, which is just awful.
Yeah.
this big turkey abomination, which is a lot of fun to see.
We've
also got
fun,
a new boss in there that's triggered by nukes, the trifecta terror, the trio Storm Goliaths, which are really fun to fight. And they play off one another, which is kind of a new mechanic. You kill one, the other two get stronger. You kill one of them, and the last one gets really strong. So that's fun.
Yeah, that is fun and also terrifying. That's great. Yeah. And then also with Vault 63, we've got
bullet spongy,
a whole
aren't they?
bunch of ghouls in there too, which is fun. And speaking of ghouls, it would be fair to chat about the Fallout TV show and my favorite character, Walton Goggins, aka the Ghoul. So how are you enjoying the TV show? Firstly, have you enjoyed it?
Which viewing? I've watched this series about 4 times.
Yeah,
I love it. Great, awesome.
You can recite it.
I suppose you have to talk about the Fallout TV show.
What I love most about the show is through the visuals, through the story, through the characters, how true to Fallout
it was. If you haven't seen it,
people
it
that
feels
maybe
very much like
weren't
Fallout.
familiar with Fallout before, or maybe had played other Fallouts in the past. watching the show, experiencing that story, and wanting more. Where can they get it? Come to Fallout 76, come to Fallout 4, come to 3. So it's been great seeing that influx of players coming in, having fresh new Fallout.
It's really boosted it.
Yeah, that's such a good point. You're so right. I think I was a massive Fallout fan before the TV show, but again, just watching that and immediately feeling that same feeling that I had playing Fallout 4 when that first launched. I mean, I used to fall asleep. This is really sad, but I used to fall asleep listening to Diamond City Radio at nighttime. But yeah, the TV show just encapsulates everything. You're so right. And with that success, how has that like been reflected in Fallout 76 as well? We've seen some maybe some new jumpsuits added, vault suits. What other parts?
If I want Fallout, I'm going to go and play, and I haven't played Fallout 4.
Sure. So
I'm going to go and
with
play
the
Fallout 3
show, we made very
because I just loved Fallout
offerings
3.
that had specific
At some point, I am going to play Fallout 4 on the other channel.
The cowboy duster, which players really love, and they're very.
I was really into Fallout 3, and then I just never thought about Fallout again. Really,
you know, from the reception the show
I
has
love
gotten,
the idea,
it's really
but
sort of
the games just
us
haven't
to continue taking the game in the direction we have, and it's sort of fortified.
I struggled with 4. I got to the point where it's like build a camp, and I'm like,
very true to Fallout, and it's really got us pumped for what's coming up down the road.
Again, there's just more important things that are not more important, but other things that I want to play, more interesting narratives and stuff.
Why aren't I dead? Yeah, it's great. So funny.
Thaddeus is great.
Thaddeus is good. I like all the characters, but Thaddeus had me laughing. Yeah.
Stunning. Now, we've mentioned a wee bit about Skyline Valley, but obviously we have Milepost 0 coming up very soon. What can players look forward to in this new update coming?
Milepost 0 is a really exciting update. Of course, we've got the caravans that we've been talking about that I was watching players play just back there, which was a lot of fun. Caravans
like
is
the
awesome.
Upside Down,
we've also
doesn't
got
it,
a
from
new
Stranger Things, actually?
Legendary
Skyline
crafting
Valley?
system, which gives players a lot more agency into making specific gear they want for their builds, gives them a bit more control.
That's cool.
And we've got Best Builds, which is a great step forward for our builders and being able to connect them so they can share their builds in game much easier and show appreciation to one another. If you run across a Best Build camp that you like,
they've just added that to
upvoted camps
Elder Scrolls Online as well.
Get featured on multiple servers across Appalachia, so it's really cool.
That sounds sick.
I think
I'll
this is
definitely
very
be
much
challenging myself. I love
they've
games
learned
like
from Elder
Fallout,
Scrolls
and then also
Online
in
as
Elder
well
Scrolls
as the
Online,
community
and
of
then
the
I love
Fallout
building in The
76.
Sims as well. So yeah,
And they're
definitely I'll
creating
be
a game
building
that
and
the community
maybe
wants to
taking
play,
some
which is good
inspo
for them.
from
That's
the
how you
rest
should
of the
do it.
community as
You
well.
should
That
focus
sounds
on the
awesome.
community.
I can't wait for that.
They should be
now,
first
you
when you're
mentioned
doing
as well,
stuff.
you've seen some of the fans playing it here on the booth at Gamescom, and then also in the public test server just now. How have you found the reaction? Are people happy with it? Are you excited? Have you been taking notes as well?
It's great. You know, I
Looks
think
like a
overall
cool
they're
setup
really
as well.
excited. Again, it goes back to giving our players the tools and the agency to make their own
Gamescom,
stories in the game.
is it Hall 7 or
what
whatever
better
they're in?
stories are you going to come up with and running the perilous route of Skyline
Must just be
Drive
huge
while being
to
assaulted
have all
by
this stuff. Is it an
giant
old air hangar
thrasher
or
turkeys
something?
and raiders, you know, doing caravans with your friends. It's just super cool.
Yeah. There's some many new adventures to look forward to. That's so sick. Now, can't wait for Milepost 0, but John, is there anything else that you want to share with me today maybe?
Maybe there is. You know, we've talked about Milepost 0 quite a bit. Milepost 0 is awesome. We know that's coming out pretty soon, September 3rd. We've got Ghouls coming out early next year. What's in between? We've got an exciting update coming out this December. This December, players get to experience the Gleaming Depths.
Heck yeah.
Raids the Gleaming Depths. This is an end-game experience for our most hardcore adventurers, full of nasty bosses that are tough to take down, big challenges, teamwork. It's great. And once players get to the end of it, if they live to tell the tale, they get a chance at getting 4-star legendary weapons, power armor, and gear.
Sick. I love that exclusive. Let's go. Gleaming Depths. I cannot wait to try that out. I'll have a lot of grinding to do, but yeah, maybe the captain can come in and help me out level my character up. Love that so much. John, I've got one more question that I'd love to know the answer for. Would you rather eat a fried rad roach or some glowing fungus stew?
So I'm not going to get into specifics, but I kind of already have a preference from past experience. I have had glowing rad roach before. I was at the show premiere. It was absolutely fantastic. I would never turn down the opportunity to have that again. So Glowing rad roads.
Glowing rad roads.
Absolutely.
There we go. We heard it here. John, thank you so much for chatting with me, and thank you for joining us. Now, fans obviously won't have to wait long at all for the next Fallout 76 update. Milepost 0 launches September 3rd.
Right, Towerborne, come on, show me something I'm interested in.
Fallout 76, as well as a metric ton of other titles right now. Remember, with Xbox Game Pass, you can get new games on day one, like Call of Duty Black Ops 6 on October 25th. Play some of the biggest games of the year.
When are they?
And
They're not talking about
benefits
Call of Duty
from our
in
pals
any
at
of
Riot
these streams.
Games and EA Play.
I suppose there is a Call of Duty
And
Fest,
if
though,
you're
isn't there,
not
that's coming
already
up,
a
I
Game
think.
Pass member, what are you doing? Join now and get your first month of PC Game Pass for $1 or €1. This offer won't last long,
What about
so
for
act
£1?
now. So coming up, we have the team from Towerborne stopping by to walk us through their
I'm looking forward
latest
to
gameplay
Towerborne.
demo. But first, it's the
I want to
latest
see more. I
from
want
Planet Coaster 2.
to try and make my mind up on it. This is pre-alpha engine footage.
Then again.
When I walk outside with my head in the clouds, everywhere I go, I keep singing out. I'm gonna sing all my blues away.
It's not for me, and that's fine. Like, there's an audience for it, which is cool. What did that show you? It showed a roller coaster and a water slide. There, I suppose we're getting more. It just looks like what you'd expect. So it's a water focused.
Hi, I'm Rich Newbold, Game Director at Frontier Developments. I hope you enjoyed the trailer for Planet Coaster 2. I'm here to show you a bit more about the game.
It was definitely a trailer.
Planet Coaster is a creative management simulation game where players can build their dream coaster park, manage that park, and then share their creations with others. In Planet Coaster 2, we have new water park features. We have deeper creativity, new management tools, and the possibility of building a park with a friend, one player at a time, by sharing a save. To celebrate our new water park features and new creative tools, we're going to be adding a new flume to this pool area of our park for our guests to enjoy.
Element of cooperativeness.
We're going to be doing that by going down to our flume section,
together.
and we're going to be adding a brand new flume.
Seems a bit
We have a
weird.
number of different flumes or slides that you'll be able to build in the game, one of which will be our body flume, which is what we're going to place in our pool area. Before we build the flume itself, we're going to need to build a flume platform for our guests to enter the flume from. So we're going to build our platform, and then we have a number of different start pieces that will our guests will use to enter the flume. We have our kind of standard open flume piece, as well as different special types of pieces. We have a flume vertical start piece for our guests to enjoy, which is a trapdoor piece where our guests will get in, and then the trapdoor will open up and they will drop through into the flume. As we're building our flumes, we can see that our test dummy is coming as well. It will follow the flume pieces as we're adding them, and then give us the excitement, fear, and nausea rating of our flume, and then give us feedback on whether this is going to be an enjoyable experience for our guests. And for this flume, we have a number of different flume pieces. We have open pieces and we have enclosed pieces, so we're going to add an enclosed piece to this flume. We also have different types of pieces, one of which is our transparent piece. So we're going to add a transparent piece to our flume so we can see our guests as they come down these flumes for them to enjoy. We also have a number of end pieces that you can put on your flume, including run-out lanes. But for the end of this body flume, I think we'll be adding one of our plug hole pieces, which is one of our special end pieces. So we're going to place that down, and now that's in place, we're going to edit the way that our flume looks. So we can go to our customization tab and change the different color options on our flumes. Flumes in real life have a very striking stripy pattern, and what we can do here is adjust the colors of each one of those
which is cool. There's lots of options
on our flume. So we can change our Flume special pieces and start pieces to be a nice green for our guests to enjoy. We can change the color of our second segment of our flume to be a complementary green. We can change this purple area to be yellow. And then finally change the last segment of this flume to be a nice black as well. At the moment, our flume does look good, but I think we can make it even better and more attractive for our guests by adding some scenery to the platform around it. So let's add a few rubber rings to really make it thematic to the experience that our guests will be having as they enjoy this flume. Now that's in place, we need to add an entrance to our flume for our guests to get onto the platform. So we're going to add our flume stair piece so that our guests can get up onto the platform and enjoy the flume.
And this is all done on controller by the looks of it, right? Which is quite impressive. Like he obviously knows what the controls are, but it looks a fairly, this is sped up, but it does look a fairly fluid. Yeah, it looks like fairly fluid, choosing things and snapping things on, and which is quite good. Sometimes controllers are just
and there we go. Our flume is finished and looking good and ready for our guests to enjoy. Flumes are one of the many amazing new attractions that you can build in Planet Coaster 2 that allow you to make a park that is truly unique and yours.
Yeah,
if you like this video, Planet Coaster 2 is now available for wishlisting. Thank you for joining me. Goodbye.
Hey, if you want it, wishlist it. Wishlisting does actually help. It doesn't say it's coming to Steam. I would assume it'd be coming to PC and everything else. So this is Eternal Strands, so we just have Towerborne
Chief Creative Officer at Yellow Brick Games. And welcome to the world of Eternal Strands, a new fantasy action-adventure game where the world around you is your weapon. In Eternal Strands,
it's a nice art style.
On your journey as a young, magic-wielding weaver named Bryn. She seeks to unravel the secrets of the Enclave, a once thriving center of magic, now left in ruins. At your base camp,
looks like an interesting world.
Bonds
obviously, it's fantasy and it's not
who will support you in your
necessarily completely unique, but
you've worked hard for this, and I have faith in you.
Select your next quest and customize your gear before venturing out through the Loom Gate on your way to discover the fate of these shattered lands.
Okay, so there's a hub,
in the Enclave, you can climb and interact with nearly everything you see.
Sort of survival mechanics or crafting mechanics?
The magical cloak on your back grants you control over frost, flame, and kinetic magic. Combine these elements in creative ways to manipulate the environment to your advantage and defeat your foes. But the Enclave's foes come in all sizes. Behold, an Ark. This colossal 25-meter construct wields immense power.
Is she really ready to fight that thing?
Pick your battles.
Wow.
Rather than risking your loot, return to base camp.
Oh, it's...
A day has passed. Reforge your gear with your hard-earned resources.
There's a Souls-like element.
Even the odds against the mighty.
Like resources, I'm guessing if you die, you lose the resources, you've got to go back.
No two battles are the same, as epics
and you can collect them again from your dead corpse. Might be wrong,
the battlefield in this
but that's just the feeling I'm getting. That's cool, that you can actually interact with stuff that's thrown at you.
To weave new abilities into your mantle. With new powers at your command, and the world is your weapon, you hold the key to uncovering the mysteries of the Enclave.
I mean, it looks...
Take up the mantle in Eternal.
It looks okay, it looks good. I think there's enough to play. But I hope it finds an audience. Coming early 2025? It's a lot coming early 2025, isn't there? Oh, this is that train game. I'm sure this has been in early access for a while. Is it Void something? Yeah, I think this is on PC. Voidtrain, or yeah, it's Void something. It's a bit too survivally for me. Obviously it's co-op as well, so there's fun to be had there, but not really my kind of game. Voidtrain. Oh, it's coming to game preview. Cool. We're obviously on the show floor because it's gone super loud. Right, Towerborne. Show me some Towerborne. And then I'm going to go get some food.
You just got a deep dive into the gameplay of Eternal Strands and Look a Voidtrain, which is coming to Game Pass early next year.
Oh,
so get ready. But first,
cool.
It seems like only yesterday we were here at Gamescom enjoying the first Towerborne demo. Now, a year later, the game is nearly ready for prime time. Joining me now with more is Stoic CEO and President Tricia Scoffer, Game Director Daniel McLaren, and Co-founder and Chief Creative Officer Arnie Jorgensen. So, how is everything going at Gamescom, Tricia?
It's fantastic. We're so excited to be back. The crowd has been exceptional, as always.
I've not seen much of
this.
Been full, seems to have passed me by a little bit.
Players are just enjoying themselves. A lot of excitement, a lot of smiles on their faces, and we're just happy to always have the game in the hands of the players.
Yeah, it's been amazing at Gamescom this year. So many people, but it's also been a huge week for you guys.
Indeed.
Tell me a bit more about it.
Absolutely. On Tuesday, we announced that we will be on early access on Steam on September 10th.
Yep.
And we're coming to game preview on Xbox and Windows PC in 2025.
So really not that far away as well.
19
so
days.
it's Steam
and
first.
I'm also so excited because we've got a demo that we're going to be playing. But McLaren,
which is interesting because it's
seen Towerborne yet. Can you give us the elevator?
I'm sure that these
Why
are a
is this
first-party
game
studio.
Going to be so much fun to play.
Yeah, so it's the quintessential side-scrolling
But honestly, if you're launching a game, you put it on Steam,
like
it's a bigger platform than
single-player,
Xbox.
shorter experience game. We've decided, why not make this a bigger game? Why not put in sweet loot drops? Why not let your friends play together, collect cool stuff, and kill bigger enemies?
I do like the art style as well, that cartoony vibe, that 80s kind of cartoony
it's
vibe.
what we all love to do as well.
Yeah.
And
Vibrant colours and
it's one of the
stuff.
reasons I'm so excited to hop into this demo as well, because I got to play it here last year, and honestly, love these type of games like World of Warcraft I brought up on, but going into Towerborne, I'm a little bit competitive, and we've also got 3 different characters on screen. So I think, Arnie, if you can kind of talk us through what each of us can do, the different abilities that we've got.
Sure. So everyone just kind of mess around on this first screen before we get too deep. But we're going to be going to early access with 4 different classes. Here we see the Shadow Striker. She's got dual daggers, and she can move about the screen really quickly and do high damage. Then we also have the Sentinel with the sword and shield. He can block, and he can also parry. So if done at the correct time, you raise your shield, bang, they become dizzy. And then we got the Pyro class here with the War Club. Big, slow, heavy damager that can fight through damage. So that's the 3 that we've got right here. We're not showing off the Rock Breakers, which, I'm sorry.
No,
that's not daggers. That's the Rock Breakers with the giant clubs.
I know, this is the thing.
What we're not showing is the dual daggers. That's right, the Shadow Striker. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm actually quite excited because I have seen Tricia use the fists before, right? And I was like, she was doing a lot of damage, so I was like, that's what I'm playing as. So I've also got is it an ombre above me? Is it
an umbra?
Yeah, an umbra.
An umbra. So how does that work?
So the umbra is part of your loadout. We're going to be launching with about 9 different umbra and then adding them as we go through early access. But all the different umbra give you different abilities. Some could do damage, some could do healing.
Cool.
We see 3 different umbra here today, and we'll see what they do.
Well, I'm quite excited. And how do I trigger? Is that with my right trigger?
That's with your right trigger. Now, if you press your right bumper, that's when you're going to do this massive damage punch.
Oh. Okay. So I don't want to use that. So that's the little thing on the bottom of the screen, isn't it? When you can kind of see the bar.
So the orange bar, if you look at your HUD up there, the orange bar, as that fills up, that will be your right bumper button. That's the special ability.
Okay. I'm not seeing the orange bar.
Down at the bottom, when those turn blue, if you hold your left trigger
and
hit
top
your
by the
light
weapon,
attack
okay.
or your heavy attack, it will do one of 2 special abilities and consume one of those pips.
Okay, nice. All right, should we go forward to our our first fight?
Yeah, let's show us some gameplay instead of just.
All right, I'm going in first.
Prattling about.
It's not because I'm trying to do the most damage, I promise.
There's a lot of different things to remember for each class, but for now, just have fun playing. You'll learn the class over the hours of playtime.
So
and there's like combos, isn't there, that you can do? So you kind of want to set it up to do the most. And
that's right.
The little bar on the bottom. How do I get that to charge faster?
Just by hitting things, or by completing combos. By completing combos, it's going to fill up much faster, and that's your weapon meter.
It's
how
a combo-based
do I know my
game.
combos? Is it just like mixing
just
up
press
like
buttons.
fast and heavy attacks, or?
Yeah, it's a combination of using your light and your heavy. It's a 4-button combo system, so any combination of those 4 buttons will do different things. And if you hold down X, you can launch enemies into the air, get up there and do some aerials. Ooh, nice, coming in and stealing my kill, Benny. I appreciate that.
I would never do. I'm not a kill thief. I am just getting involved.
I am. I'm happy to.
That
happy to help that out.
Oh, nice.
Sure
Enemies just jumping from all angles. That's cool.
We're actually tracking damage done in this, so we can see if Benny can beat Trisha and McLaren.
Don't know what you're on about. Please.
We're gonna find out, aren't we?
Oh no, I've just missed. I've just wasted my combo.
This is definitely more of a co-op
It's
thing.
a no-lose, McLaren. If you win, you basically be a professional gamer.
Pretty much.
No.
That's the goal here.
I know you guys are running too far ahead, right? This is. Right, there we go. No, I'm good now. Don't worry, I've got my own enemy.
It's been my dream to beat a professional gamer. So.
Hey, can you not steal my damage, please? That's my damage.
Absolutely.
Oh, you just stopped him getting up.
Yes, sir.
If you hit him early enough, you can whack him pretty quickly. It's like whack-a-mole.
Oh, nice.
How you doing over there, Benny?
It's definitely learn your character combos and things. Use your special abilities.
I've done a lot of damage. I'm hitting my combos. Oh no, I've just missed. I keep wasting my.
I'm kind of drowning out whatever they're saying.
No. How you doing?
No, I feel like I'm falling behind.
Just watching the
Man,
gameplay.
Trisha's got the best weapon with that spin to win. That's normally my weapon.
Trisha's actually playing McLaren's weapon.
I know, it's so irritating.
But Benny is playing Trisha's. Trisha's really good with the rock breaker.
Maybe you haven't seen my stats on all the weapons yet, but I played them all. Don't you worry.
All right, hold on. There's a couple more people over here. I'm determined.
I feel like there could be
wait. So
more
right now,
enemies
I'm
on
actually
screen.
quite low in health. I've taken a lot more damage.
Well, that's
This
okay.
has taken none.
I've got you here. If you come up a bit, there's a healing shrine.
Oh, yes.
And that'll just get everybody refreshed. Because get ready.
So hold on one second.
Hold on. Let's wait a second.
If you did die.
Did you all need to be there?
Right.
Oh, yeah. So the way the death works in this game, when you die, your Umbra's going to come over and it's going to res you. But if you run out of lives, then it takes your teammates to res you, and it's oftentimes hard. If they take damage while doing it, then you're dead. But I want to talk really quickly. We've come into this mission for a reason. We're in
to
this
beat
mission
Trisha
because we got to beat Trisha. We heard that we heard that there was a boss in the area. So I think we're on its trail, and we'll see what happens here as we enter the next cave.
People gonna die.
Okay. All right, here we go. Are you ready? Are you McLaren, are you sure you're ready?
Here we go.
Let's go.
Are you sure? All right.
Let's go.
All right, wait. No, I've got.
I
you know
love
where
this
I'm
art
going.
style.
Here we are.
Oh no. All right, there we go. No, there we go.
It's the Pango Jira. Now, if you notice, there's a break bar at the bottom of the screen right under the health bar of the boss. McLaren, tell us a little bit about that.
So it's a quintessential break bar. The minute you break it, it will stun the boss and allow you to go into a punish phase. And so, oh, geez, man, it's always those rocks, always in the face.
This looks good.
I know. So now he's in a broken phase. So now you can just do all of your combos, do all of your damage.
Pummel him.
Yeah, this is where you really get.
This is where you get your damage.
This is where you get the numbers up.
I'm going. That's where I'm going.
Get your numbers
Right,
up.
there we go. I need to use my ombre.
Your ombre.
I love it.
I don't know why I'm calling it.
Officially change it to
I don't know why I'm calling it an ombre.
I think I'm officially changing it to
think
ombre.
we're literally doing a lot. We just turned this game into an esport somehow.
All right, come on. No, I got no back. Wait, are you dead?
No, not even close.
It's like damage.
Now, you can tell who's played this game before,
has been
can't you?
wrecking people on the show floor.
Yeah, it's been pretty great.
But we've got some people here that have played this game before. That might be making it look a little easy.
Oh my god, there's so many rocks getting thrown at my head.
Right.
Right, here we go. Right, I need time as well.
Boink.
So we're obviously focused on the guy with the flamethrower.
There we go.
This is
no, I've just wasted. No.
This is the type of fight, as you would expect in any game like this, that if you beat a boss, you're going to get wicked good gear. You're going to get great weapon drops, aspect drops, which are gems or mods that you can slot into your equipment. But this is the type of fight that you want to go into and get or beat, because this is where you get the good stuff.
Yep.
Oh, I've just done, by the way, I've just done so much for us there.
Did you really?
I've just taken out like 10 ads.
Well, we're
Benny's carrying the team. He's carrying the team.
Yeah, he really is.
Appreciate that. I've taken the boss down to quarter life.
What I found though is I apparently only get 1 damage for every single one of these kills. So I'm just putting it out there that I'm being a team player.
I see.
Yeah.
And it's not because I think I'm behind on the damage curve.
Oh, Jiminy, I rolled right into it too.
Get good.
I think I know better. Look at that. First death, who does that belong to? I know how to play this game, I promise, folks. I'm working on it,
I want to see the revive mechanic thing come in.
There it is, unload.
There we go, we got him.
Go.
No, you've got this, surely you've got this.
Oh yeah, let's go. All right, now the moment of truth.
I don't think we need to take a look at the damage.
I think we do.
I don't think you know what we're basing
Doesn't
this
show
off?
you the loops.
Eliminations. Let me know, like in the chat, if we should base it off eliminations or not.
F in chat for Benny.
I don't want to look at my stats.
There we go.
Oh, item progression. Okay.
Damage.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's going on?
12,000.
Let's go. That's okay, Benny. You can play again later.
Can we like? Oh, come on, I know there's something wrong. I defeated way more than 9 enemies.
Did you though?
I swear I did.
Did you though?
Well, that's
They played the game once or twice. But you know, hold on a second. So this right here is the combat that we're showing here on the show floor, and we're just pushing right now the combat of Towerborne. I think is really something special. But the whole game is an RPG. There's a huge map that you move out onto, and you explore tile by tile, just like this, and you uncover through the fog of war different areas of bosses, loot chests, ventures, which are our version of dungeons. There's a ton to explore in this RPG, and then you go back to the tower and you get your missions, you go to the forge. What is this saying for Towerborne?
Yes, that's right. I totally blanked.
Hold on a second.
I was like, you're the one that told me.
I was basking in my success, and I just wasn't listening to anything except that I beat Benny, a pro gamer.
The saying of Towerborne is,
by the way,
I want to explore the world, and I want to be strong enough to do it.
Next time, I'm going to get some practice in, and I will beat you.
It's right there on the floor.
Yeah, I'm not going to. I'll be there a week. That's what I'm going to be.
We'll do it. You guys join in.
These guys have been quite good as well. Today's show has been so much better than yesterday's.
One thing I have to say is we're seeing more games.
Like just how the panel have interacted.
Why was it so important and
some of it's been weird
to go into Steam for you, Trisha?
Bad questions and things, but
getting the game into players' hands is super important to us. We want to have that the discussion with the community, have them be a part of the game building. It's what Stoic has always done from our very
what early
first
access
game.
is about.
And so getting there, being able to have that and have the input and take it in. Steam just happens to do that well for us, and we want to make sure we're fully prepared for when we come to game preview next year and have an expansive
I believe this is coming to Game Pass on PC and console.
We're truly ready for them. We don't want to disappoint.
Honestly,
it looks good. I kind of want to play it. I want to get in.
I've really enjoyed playing it, and I
it's out in early access on Steam soon as well.
And then beat you. It will happen. I'm excited for next time.
Depending on when it comes out on Xbox and PC in Game Pass,
but remember,
I might have to wait because there's so much to play right now.
Towerborne.com if you want to go and have a go yourself.
But yeah,
now, if that
the more I see of Towerborne, the more I'm liking it.
Love what the team has in store. Check out a taste of a new dev diary coming soon.
Towerborne is an action RPG online multiplayer game.
We're going to support for many years.
It's just beautiful art style. It's a living world. They're going to support for many years. We've heard that before.
Get started. My greatest joy in this is going to be sitting here a year from now going, I had no idea that this would go in this direction.
Yeah, it is coming to Game Pass at some point. 2025.
And now it's time to say goodbye, but only until tomorrow. And what a day tomorrow!
Yeah, Towerborne's looking good.
So
Towerborne's
you're gonna
looking
make sure
good.
you join us when we kick off our final day
we'll
of
talk about
coverage
tomorrow.
with one of the most anticipated titles of the year. It's Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. We'll also jump into the world of Metaphor Refantasio, a fancy
Let's see what
RPG
they
from the minds
say,
behind Persona 3,
because they're coming to a close
Persona
here.
4, and Persona
I want to
5.
touch on a few
Plus,
things
the
here.
team from Thunder Lotus will stop by to help us all survive God's judgment
33 Immortals
in
is looking
33
good as well.
Immortals. And Lena, we're going to give you a rare look at Avowed.
So thanks for watching and auf Wiedersehen. Bye.
Guess we're done. Guess we're done. Right, I tell you what, let's just pause about there. So let's pause that there so we can see. Tomorrow, actually today's show, right? Let's touch on today's show. Today's show was much better. I think Star Wars Outlaws is looking good. I was more impressed with the facial animations of Kay. It was really nice to see the actress actually talking about the role and how she's a fan of Star Wars and she's already invested in this and she wants to bring this to life in a good way. Everything I'm seeing is looking really, really cool and I can't wait to play it next week. World of Warcraft, it's not for me. It's not my game, but it's looking good. I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy the new stuff. The standout for me today, I want to say Towerborne, because Towerborne is looking so good. I think it was Date Everything. Just the energy that the panel brought when they were talking about it and the passion they had for the game and just the weirdness. Dating sims are not my thing at all, but Date Everything is looking incredible. Like ridiculously good. And Redacted looked really good as well. There's quite a lot of good stuff today. So yeah, I'm going to chapter it all up so you can check out what I thought of each bit. But yeah, overall, yesterday was fairly weak, I thought. There was a couple of standouts, but yesterday was fairly weak. Today felt a bit more fluid, a bit more natural, not quite as forced, and not as many stupid questions in the interviews. Tomorrow is the big day for me. Tomorrow there's loads of things that I'm interested in. Obviously Indiana Jones. It looks like we're going to be opening with Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. We know when it's coming out. We know it's coming to PS5 as well. They won't talk about PS5. This is Xbox. But we know the next 6 months everybody's going to be able to play it. And it's looking really good. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more of that. Hopefully they're going to show us some actual, like, a whole segment of gameplay. Because I feel like we've got a lot of snippets, but we haven't got an actual sequence. So fingers crossed for that. Avowed, I'm really looking forward to seeing more Avowed. Every time I've seen it, it's looked a little bit better. But I'm very, very cautious on it. We'll see. I'm hoping that we get some good stuff. I'm hoping that the delay, because it's now coming out in February. It's not coming out this year, it's coming out in February. Hopefully that delay means that they're actually working on it and improving, not just the visuals, but the gameplay, because the gameplay looked really poor. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're doing and continuing to do with Avowed, being, what, about 6 months away from launch. Ara's looking fun as well. Again, not my kind of game, but there's something about it. It just looks pretty cool. 33 Immortals is, I believe, in early access, or it's just had a closed beta or something. I'm interested to see what they've implemented in that, but that was looking pretty fun. Big game for me tomorrow is probably Space Marine 2. Everything I've seen, it's just looked so good. So I think it's just going to be a little bit of a trailer. I don't know how deep they're going to go into it. Obviously, it launches in about 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks, 9th of September officially. So that's coming really soon, and we've seen a lot of it. I don't want to see a huge amount, but I hope that maybe they've got the devs from Saber there to talk a little bit about it. But I'm interested to see more, as long as it doesn't go too spoilery. But a sequence of combat would be nice. A stretch of gameplay would be pretty cool. The other standout there is Path of Exile 2. That looked really interesting. Obviously, there's more stuff as well. There's a lot less games that they're showing off, so hopefully they're going to be talking about the big stuff a bit more. We're going to get some deeper dives in those core Xbox games of Indiana Jones, Avowed, and Ara, which are all first party studios. So yeah, lots of cool stuff coming tomorrow. Hopefully you enjoyed this one today. Obviously, I will be chaptering this up if you want to watch it back, or there's bits that you see. If you're watching this post live, let me know what stood out for you. Let me know what games you enjoyed from Thursday's show. And join me tomorrow, usual time for these at 2 PM UK time. We will be going live just before for day 3, the final day of Xbox at Gamescom. Hopefully, I will see you all then. See you in the next one.